So as far as the third World Aristocrat video from today goes, I gotta say, huge win for the toe and a stroke of genius on my part.
Mr. Radio Voice, he's doing his shows, he's roasting some ass, and he's picking his nose.
Sorry, folks, looks like the Wi-Fi.
On the Steel Toe Show, he's making a mess, and everyone knows. Ready or not, he already came. April is a hoe, and she's snorting for fame. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He spilled the beans. He's rooting for rage as he gets her thrice. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He had a felony charge, but he's gonna walk. He's got a big mouth and he talks the talk. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He's always a guest with Alex Stein. He's making a wish. He's taking his time. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. Oh, hip hop dibbity dap to the wop 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 wop. Hong dong whittle dangle wang. Oh, he sang dooley mama splatting your hat. Do the poot cakes.
Unmute the mic, stupid asshole retard face. Good evening and welcome to the Steel Toe Nighttime Show. Look at me. You know, I'm not one to brag. Everybody knows this. But goddamn, I'm handsome. Goddamn. If we could just get that camera to go up. If I wasn't so terrified that I would fuck everything up, I'd take the stand that camera's on and I'd put it up just a little higher so it's not shooting. See, like, the camera is shooting me from, like, here. It's, like, at my collarbone level. So you get the disgusting jowls. It's to keep me humble because I'm such a handsome little fella. I'm such a good-looking boy. So excited for the show tonight, kids. Welcome to the program. Oh, my goodness. We have clips galore. We have lots of things to talk about. I'm more annoyed than I should be about a sports thing that happened. Like it really, like, on a base level, like, bothers the shit out of me. I don't know if you saw the Pete Rose stuff today, but Pete Rose died not too long ago, and Major League Baseball today reinstated him. They reinstated Pete Rose. He's not banned from baseball. He was banned from baseball back in the 80s or 90s, and it was because he was betting on baseball. They couldn't prove that he was betting on Reds games he was involved in, and that he was throwing games, but they banned him anyway for betting on baseball. He had a very serious gambling problem, Pete Rose. But they wouldn't let him into the Hall of Fame. And if you know anything about baseball, you know that Pete Rose is the all-time hits leader in Major League Baseball history. And that is an accomplishment that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He was never allowed in the Hall of Fame because he was banned from baseball. Now he's dead, and they've unbanned him from baseball, and it's so goddamn unfair because most sports fans believed that Pete Rose should have been in the Hall of Fame back in the 80s or 90s. And they didn't let him in, and they didn't let him in. He was very sorry. He felt bad, the whole deal. And I'm real, like, I found myself when I saw the news today, I was actually pissed off. I was actually mad. And, like, mad in that way where you know you shouldn't be. Like, while I was mad, I was going, it's fucking stupid, Aaron. Who gives a shit? It's a dead baseball player. But, like, I loved Pete. Like, I didn't get a chance to watch Pete Rose. I was too young. In fact, probably wasn't even alive by the time he was done. And, like, but I actually, like, my whole childhood, I was like, why don't they fucking let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame? It pissed me off. It bothered me. I don't know if, like, it bothered my dad, so I just through osmosis picked that up. But what I'm trying to say is, fuck baseball. For Pete Rose having to die without the all-time hits leader in baseball history dying before being allowed in the Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about it later today, but I think I pretty much got it all off my chest right there. This is why people ask, why don't you tease things? Why does every show start with just kind of a muddled, kind of weird, thrown together half conversation between you and the audience? Because if I try to tease shit, I just end up talking about it. Savvy? All right, let's talk to you guys. You're already yapping my fucking ear off tonight. Red Fox Mad with $4.99. Thank you very much, buddy. Says, let's fucking go. As Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl winner, how many Super Bowls have the Vikings won? Fucking rhetorical question or what? What are we doing? Do you want to start? Is that how you want to start today? I start telling you about things that piss me off about sports. And what do? You start off with championships here. I'll tell you, they'll have one less championship than the fucking Timberwolves are going to have when they're done, baby. Timberwolves are winning the NBA title this year. It's going to, you watch, it's going to happen. It's about to happen. The Timberwolves are 3-1 against the Steph Curry-less Warriors. Draymond Green is fully on tilt. The Nuggets could beat OKC. If we don't go to the NBA Finals, who do I owe? I owe money to somebody. I owe money to Timothy, who gave us $65 this morning and knocked out our goal. He's in second place. Miss Tay at $51 and Jake Fire at $40. I think Crunchy's in first at like $125 or something like that. Either way, thank you guys very much. Amazing start to the week. And if the Timberwolves don't make it to the finals, I gave one listener, I said, you contribute X amount of dollars. You say it's for the Timberwolves thing. I'll give you 2-1 odds on the Timberwolves not making the finals. All I get if I win is I just keep the 65. Not a bad deal. I'm becoming a bookie over here. But look, we're going to the NBA finals. I'm trying to think. A Minnesota sports team has never been in the finals of anything while I've been old enough to remember. Now, the Twins have won World Series in 87 when I was less than 1 year old, and in 91 when I was 3. We've won World Series. I don't remember either of those things. Not only have we never won a championship in my lifetime, any of the major sports teams, we've never been to a championship in my lifetime. So this is getting pretty fucking big for me. Gray Duckling with $5 says, just hopped on. Is Aaron explaining an excuse for his chicken neck or frog chin? If the camera was up just a little bit higher, it would be fine. Vidam with $5. Oh, God, here we go. Vidam says, in other words, Pete Rose pissed off the Jews that own and run baseball. The Jews hate it when non-Jews cheat to win. Ladies and gentlemen, Vidam has entered the chat. Miss Tay gifting a membership to Chad Buzamak got the membership. Chad Buzamak and I clearly still working on our communication skills. He still seems to think that I'm wink, wink, nudge, nudge, asking him to post these out of context clips that he edits to mock me. He seems to think that I'm secretly asking him through the screen to do that. I'm 1,000% not, but try and convince that guy. Buzamak, if you really think I'm communicating through the screen and I'm telling you to post these things and you're not editing them at all, you will pass along that membership and gift one yourself. What do you say? All right, let's get into this. Let's go to numero uno, Josh Tenney fan. Oh, great, baseball talk. Gonna go kill myself instead of watching tonight. I mean, you could just watch something else. I mean, you know how fucked up that would, do you know how that would fuck me up if I found out that a fan took their own life simply because of the content I covered? Like, if you took your own life because, and in the note it said, fucking Aaron talked about Pete Rose being reinstated into baseball. I gave a shit so little that I stuck my head in an oven. I would, believe it or not, I would feel bad. That would make me feel terrible if you did that. MSO says, I got a Pete Rose rookie card. Would have went way up in value had he made the Hall of Fame. Bastards. Taste Fairy Ialto says WWE did that to Macho Man. That's right. Macho Man Randy Savage was kept out of the WWE Hall of Fame. The rumor was that he fucked Stephanie McMahon when she was a teenager. That's the rumor. He was like in his late 30s, early 40s, I guess. And the rumor was that he fucked, like, how old is Stephanie McMahon? I think the rumor was he fucked her in like 93, 94. Stephanie McMahon, age 48. And this would have been 32 years. Oh my. That's weird. Yikes. Just do me a favor. Don't do the math on that. Just let's let that one go. And let's pretend it never happened. I mean, the most generous interpretation of this, when did Macho Man sign with WCW? December 3rd, 94. So 31 years ago, that would make her 17. Okay. I really hope that rumor's not true. Let's go to Bigot on Socialist Media. He said, I would have kept him out of the WWE Hall of Fame together. Wow, not a big fan of snapping into Slim Jims, are you? Rexstart parody account says he snapped into it. Oh, of course. Ugh. I hope that rumor's not true, but I don't. Why else would they keep him out of the Hall of Fame? Why else would they not let him come back to WWE? Why would they just keep him away for all those years and never allow him back? I mean, that rumor it makes sense when you view it through that scope. Miss Tay gifting a membership over on the YouTube end of things. Thank you, Miss Tay. Pass those along if you get them. Miss Tay is now at 61. She's in third place. Thank you, Tay. Jake Fire still just barely holding on to that fourth place spot. He's got a few people chasing him. Walter at $40, Redbird at 35. Thank you guys very much for how generous you have been. Chad Buzamok says Aaron doesn't seem to want to play the compilation video, and I believe it's because of the quad chins. You edited those quad chins. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You edited the quad chins. Because when I watched the video, I felt like dying. Taste Fairy Ialto says, especially when Vince was known for giving wrestlers second and third chances if it made him money. He brought the Ultimate Warrior back, for Christ's sake. And then the Ultimate Warrior died, like, literally the very next day. The Ultimate Warrior, like, WWE brought him back. Ultimate Warrior came back, cut a crazy promo on a Monday Night Raw. His face was all beet red, and he's sweating profusely from just talking. And then the very next day, he died. Chad Buzamok just pinned his own post on the top of the Rumble chat. You cocksucker. Oh. Snowcat Tish says, because when he left WWF, Slim Jim and their money went to WCW. Steph would have been 18 in 1992. Not accurate. She would have been 15 in 1992. I'm just here. Stephanie McMahon, age. I'll put it up here again. There she is. 48 years old. 1976. So she would have been, quick math, 17 at the end of 93. By the time she was 48, Macho Man, or by the time she was 18, Macho Man had signed with WCW. So, I mean, look, I don't, it skeeves me out when people make that argument. Yeah, but the age of consent in state X. I fucking hate that argument. 18 at the very least is the number. I don't care what your state says. Ugh. No, thank you. We are by the way, the Slim Jim thing is, that's a good point. So basically, Macho signed with WCW for $500,000 a year back in 94. And he brought with him a sponsorship from Slim Jim, which was about $500,000 a year to WCW. So Eric Bischoff always liked to brag that they got Macho Man for free. And, I mean, in a way, they did. Thank you very much to Plankton with $5. Oh, you saw that funny little tweet I had today, huh? He says, we need to talk about the condition of your deck. Yes, it does need to be stained this year. We are doing some deck staining this summer. My neighbor and I are going to... Why do I keep walking into this? My neighbor and I are going to smoke some meats and stain the deck one weekend. Probably after I come back from vacation. It's not going to be warm enough this weekend. It's going to be in the 50s. It's going to drop down to the 30s overnight. That's too cold to be staining your deck. It's going to hurt the quality of the drying and everything. So we're going to do that this summer. Nothing quite like staining your deck in the hot summer sun. And why are you consuming beverages from the place Gordy poos in the winter? Gordy does not poo there in the winter anymore. We shoveled out a path for him in the wintertime now. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says Eddie Guerrero died in Minneapolis in a hotel. That's true. That's very true. Eddie Guerrero did die in a hotel in Minneapolis.
Another 30 minutes of news.
Fox 9.
A shocking find at a downtown Minneapolis hotel.
The body of World Wrestling Entertainment star Eddie Guerrero. And Ellen Gallus is live at Target Center. What are the fans saying tonight, Ellen?
Well,
They're
Eddie
sad.
Guerrero was supposed to perform here tonight, and so fans, needless to say, are shocked. Many of them showed up here tonight at the Target Center with T-shirts and posters honoring the wrestler. Tonight's show very suddenly and very sadly became a tribute show for Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, it was actually Minnesota has a really bad record with dead wrestlers. Hawk, Road Warrior Hawk from the Legion of Doom, I think he went to my high school. He went to Irondale. He or John Laurinaitis, James Laurinaitis, went to my high school. He was originally from Robbinsdale. He died young. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, I believe he was from Robbinsdale as well. He died young. Ravishing Rick Rude, also from Robbinsdale. He died young as well. So, and then Eddie Guerrero, of course, died in Minnesota. And check me if I'm wrong on this one. Brian Pillman died in Minnesota as well. He's not from Minnesota, but I think he died in Minnesota. Where did Brian Pillman die? Bloomington, Minnesota. Yep. October 5th, 1997. Minnesota and dead wrestlers, they do not do well. They do not do well. Tridio with $2. Hey, Tridio, thank you very much. I went to the gym today. I just went back to the Rumble clip, or the Rumble chat. And there's my buddy Chad Buzamok pinning another message. It says, everyone requests the compilation clip. Aaron loves it. You fucking cunt. I think Chad Buzamok started out his steel toe career like fucking with me and like legit not liking me. And I think he's slowly but surely just become like a bit on the show, like a contributor. It's wonderful to watch. Tridio, thank you for the Five Guys burgers and fries. I ate them today. Chad Buzamok says, I will stop now probably. It's no hair off my ass. It was delicious. I enjoyed it. I heated it up in the Ninja Foodie. Everything kept its integrity. It's very, very good. Silver Wolf with $1 says, smoke some meats and stain the deck. Is that what they call it now? Yeah, it's butt fucking time. Oh, oh no. What did I do? I don't want to open my eyes. I don't want to look. We're going to have fun tonight, aren't we? It's going to be one of those nights where the chat's on fire. All right, Gray Duckling is in. I got to do some calculating here. Gray Duckling is now at $50 for this week. He's now in fourth place, and he's not too far behind Miss Tay. Let's put Gray Duckling in there. Thank you, buddy. $20 from Gray Duckling and a gifted membership. That's going to go for 20. Thank you, pal. Let's see. We got a link for the $20. Let's open that up, see what we've got. Thank you so much. And a gifted membership to... Where'd it go? Where does gifted membership go to? It has not been released yet. It's not been given out. We wait with bated breath to see who Gray Duckling gave a membership to. MSO says, sipping on some wine that I made definitely makes the show better. Cool. I'm glad someone else said the gayest thing of the night so far. Thank you, MSO. Fucking Creole Williams over here. MSO lived down a dirt road, made homemade wine, and fucking. All right, for fuck's sake, clip that immediately. Someone else get that. I'm clipping Zumach Wet-Brained Follies. Thanks. Red Scoper says, suspicious that someone sent you food and you aren't dead. Tridio must be an Aaron sock account. Oh, let's get that one started. 105 away from tonight. You guys are fucking aces. You're doing great. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chat. You know what to do. You're doing a great job so far. Thank you so much. I will say, I went to the gym today only because I knew I was going to eat the burger and I was going to eat the fries. And it worked. I did a couple of things. I went to the gym, and then I want everyone to just calm down here. I want everyone to just, let's be adults about this. I did, like a teenage girl, I went tanning out on the back deck this afternoon. Look, I'm going to the key, not the gay key. Let's remember that I am not going to the gay key. We do not need people tweeting and writing in chat that I'm going to the gay key. I'm going to another key, not the gay key. I'm going to Kokomo, all right? But I went tanning because I'm like, I'm going to be in Florida, and when I take my shirt off, a guy who's just a few pounds overweight, as you saw in the Hackamania photos, me looking better than all the other guys on stage. Even Keanu, a beautiful woman like Keanu, goes, you actually didn't look that bad. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you. But I figured a guy who's got a little extra poundage on him looks a little better if he's tanned. And plus, I've been out golfing so much that you see how dark I am. Even in this bright lighting, I'm pretty dark. The torso does not match the arms and the face. So we got to color that up just a little bit. Chad Buzamok says he went to the gym after seeing the chins in his video. It wasn't the chin like this, Buzamok. It was the side chin that's getting me. Like, my face is framed by a layer of skin, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, no, Red Scoper. Were they chanting that at Nick? That's too bad. I also saw Elissa clipped my little appearance. Fucking killed it again. Another win for the toe. Fat looks better tanned, Rexstart parody account. Oh, is that an Arn Anderson quote? I love that quote from Double A. That works for me. Uh-oh. SP writes, should I be concerned with how much you flirt with this Chad guy on your show? Getting real gay, dude. Full homo. Just trying, I'm like a maitre d'. I'm just trying to make the customers feel at home. 191 Redbird with $5 says, one of our first world problems in Minnesota is that you lack the shame to keep your shirt on. Sorry. I apologize. I'll try to do better. Thank you, buddy. Even Hundo away from tonight. Looky. Just a hundo away, and we're just 20 minutes into tonight's show. Aren't you guys the baddest motherfuckers in the world? Streamlabs, PayPal, Actually, I haven't even checked the PayPal and the Venmo yet. Who knows where we're at? Thank you guys on YouTube and Rumble for all of your generosity. We're almost there already. Thanks a million. All right, let's go to this video that Gray Duckling sent in with his $20. Donations have their privileges. I'll take a look-see. Oh, the deck advertisement, of course.
If you're like me, you find it very hard to keep your deck dry. I left my deck unprotected and it was warped out of shape in no time. I could barely recognise my own deck. Imagine that. Then I discovered Schaefer's New Zealand style deck sealant. The best way to take care of your deck in 3 easy steps. First, wash your deck with soap and water. Then, wait for your deck to...
I gotta say, I think Meme Copium should get more commercials. He does a great job.
dry. Once your dick is clean and dry, paint your dick with Schaefer's Dick Sealant. I used to be too embarrassed to invite people over to see my dick. But now, my dick's the talk of the town. I even have pictures of my dick. Check out that dick.
Hey, buddy, don't be showing us that. You'll catch a charge. What are you doing? Good God, man. Are you out of your fucking gourd?
I want to send this to my secretary. Barbara always loves to receive my dick pics.
No, don't. Oh, my God. Those are unsolicited, bro. You're going to get in trouble. I try to help people. I try to help them.
After all, summertime is all about spending time on your dick. I'll often have 20 to 30 people on my dick at once. That can really wear your dick out.
That's a popular guy. I don't know if you get the bit yet, guys, but it sounds like he's saying dick. Like your cock. Thank you, Gray Duckling. I appreciate it. People are saying, isn't this like 20 years old? Look, Gray Duckling wanted to throw us a little boomer humor our way this evening, and that's fine. Boozamock, that one's disgusting. That one's gross, buddy. Jesus Christ. By the way, Petron is the one who ended up getting Gray Duckling's gifted membership. There we go. Go ahead and forward that one, Petron. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Rusty Grammar says Kiwis aren't people. Well, that's the allegation. That's not the first person I've heard that from. RPG TV says, yikes. Yeah, don't worry. We understand. We got the joke. We got the joke. Gabe Owners. Gabe Owners says, if I was going to the gay key, I would be telling people I wasn't going to the gay key. Don't get it in people's heads that I'm not going to the gay key. Amy Music says, bring your sunscreen. You aren't near ready. Well, that's just nice. Benchtop Model says, you're going to the key next to the gay key. But I'm so not. I'm so not going to the key next to the gay key. Dill Pickle becoming a member for 7 months. Let's see what he's got. He says, have you heard the rumor of released body cam footage? Might be a spicy drop coming. If I could quote one of my favorite Germans of all time, I know nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about, and I don't need to know what you're talking about. Don't ask me any more fucking questions, and that's all I have to say about that. Thank you very much to Petron for, look at Petron passing forward a subscription over on Rumble. Remember, if you become a member on Rumble, you don't have to watch those ads, but you might miss the Nazi ones. Boomer Bob Show got the membership. Gray Duckling gifting another one. That one to RPG TV. RPG TV can pass that one along. What does Feezer mean? I'm a boomer. I don't know. They're saying RPG TV is Feezer. I don't know a Feezer, but welcome anyway. $85 away from tonight's goal. Rust Belt says Aaron can't play it anyway. Phil Herslit says Wackomania is over, and rumor has it all the bed bugs left with the guests again this year. I'm thinking they might have brought him in last time. I saw a few of them this year, and I fucking killed. I was surprised that Vito was a man of his word, and he played the whole thing I sent him. It killed. I mean, probably uncomfortable. People were laughing at Nick and Melton so hard, but fucking, I watched Alyssa's clip. It went very, very well. I was surprised I knew it was going to go pretty well, but damn, I crushed out there. So thank you guys very much. $85 away. Power Windows says Rumble ads make the website feel sketchy as fuck. Well, memberships make it so you don't have to worry about it, my man. You don't have to worry about it. Well, holy shit, haven't you guys been a generous bunch this evening? Let's go ahead and move on. We appreciate everything you're doing, all these memberships and everything. Very nice. Let's get into our first clip today. I'll be very honest. I'm actually embarrassed to admit this. And I think what I'm going to do is try to find a YouTube video tutorial explanation about this. Oh, please. Oh, please. Please tell me that this is...
Nose is stuck with crack cocaine here in Cuthbert, boozing.
Guys, I have to listen. Just give me 30 seconds. I need to listen to this and make sure I can play it on the show. Just give me, I'm listening to something. Give me a second. Yeah, I can't play this. Actually, you know what? I can play this. I can play the audio. I just can't play the video of it. This is from Third World Aristocrat. This is really good. It is a Nick video, but let's listen to Third World Aristocrat's latest work.
Nose is stuck with crack cocaine here in Cuthbert.
Quick question. I love Third World Aristocrat. I think he's great. I love the work he does. But weren't we doing a Cocktails bit like yesterday or Friday or something? Was Third World Aristocrat inspired by Steel Toe to make this song? If he wasn't, that's fine. I mean, parallel thinking exists, and Cocktails instead of DuckTales is not exactly a Weird Al Yankovician pull for my brain. So I can understand if it's parallel thinking, but I would love to think that I inspired a Third World Aristocrat video.
In Cuthbert, boozing pills to numb the brain. In the cupboard, let's keep it a mystery. Ba-ba-ba, and rewrite history.
The end. They're gay cocks.
And
They're gay. They're cocks.
a PPP appearance at the end. Nice work, Third World. Attaboy. Taste Very Ialto says Yankovician. I like it. I just came up with it now. I just came up with it. I'm pretty proud of myself. Thank you. Sam Show says, I mean, you did inspire Third World Aristocrat in a way. Yeah. That's true. All right, let's get... I haven't heard anything. Now, what I was going to do before I ran into that Third World Aristocrat video was I just want to take a look at this... do you guys know about the... What are they calling it? The cocaine train conspiracy theory. This theory that like all the world leaders are getting together and having cocaine parties. Now, I don't find this difficult to believe at all. No, Macron was not caught red-handed hiding a cocaine bag on train to Ukraine. Anytime they start calling something a wild conspiracy theory, I start to, when the media starts going, this crazy conspiracy theory, you know what else was a crazy conspiracy theory? People are getting sick from the vaccine. Masks are bullshit. COVID started in a lab. All of that was a crazy conspiracy theory. So the minute something becomes a conspiracy theory, I start to get interested in it. So let's get the breakdown of the cocaine train conspiracy theory.
Have been spreading rapidly online, raising concerns about the manipulation of public perception amid tense geopolitical negotiations. The conspiracy reportedly began circulating on Telegram, a messaging app popular in Russia, where edited footage surfaced of French President Emmanuel Macron, British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer.
Is that supposed to be a bag of cocaine? That's not a bag of cocaine. Come on. Is that the best we got? Let's go back. Now that I see it.
Messaging app popular in Russia, where edited footage surfaced of French President Emmanuel Macron, British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, and newly elected German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. The video shows the leaders entering a train carriage en route to Kyiv for high-stakes talks with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. At one point, Macron is seen quickly removing what appears to be a crumpled tissue from the table. Conspiracy theorists seized on this moment, falsely claiming it was a bag of cocaine.
I don't know, if my snot-filled Kleenex was sitting on a table while there's a bunch of cameras around, I'd reach and go, quit looking at my boogers. I'd do that too. I'm not buying the cocaine thing. Look, do I think these guys all get together and do cocaine and suck and fuck each other? 1,000%. Usually under a mountain or in the woods. and they dance to, mock human sacrifices and shit like that, I 1000% believe it. Do I think that's what happened here? No. I don't think the guy kept a bag of cocaine right out in the open in a train car while the media's all gathered. I don't buy that at all.
Meanwhile, Mertz was accused of handling what they alleged to be a white spoon used for cocaine consumption.
What? Where?
Which in reality was a standard plastic coffee stirrer.
Wait a minute. Where's his Coke spoon? I'll tell you. If this fucking kraut had a Coke spoon.
Bag of cocaine. Meanwhile, Mertz was accused
of
handling
there it was.
Give me cocaine. Meanwhile,
no, that's not it. I don't think that's a Coke spoon. And that's so not a bag of cocaine. That's so a crumpled up tissue. That's too big to be a bag of cocaine. Like, it's just the shape of it is off. And that's not a Coke spoon. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Well, Mertz was accused of handling what they alleged to be a white spoon used for cocaine consumption, which in reality was a standard plastic coffee stirrer. French President Macron's office was quick to respond, posting on X that the accusations were nothing more than fake news being propagated by France's enemies both at home and abroad. The statement called for vigilance against such manipulations, warning of the dangers posed by these coordinated disinformation.
Yeah, I mean, when they zoom in on it like that, that's just so not a sorry. Again, I almost feel like this is a plant of a plant, if you know what I mean. Like, I almost feel like the media planted the cocaine conspiracy theory to make conspiracy theorists look insane. I feel like there's like double agent shit going on there because that's nothing. Again, these guys do get together and do heavy drugs, and I think they do have sex with each other. 1000% I believe that. I just don't think we caught him doing that.
Efforts. Former InfoWars host Alex Jones was among the most prominent Western figures to boost the conspiracy, further fueling the baseless narrative by labeling Zelensky a known cocaine enthusiast.
I believe that 1000%. I think that Volodymyr Zelensky probably does cocaine. But I don't think that's what Emmanuel Macron had on him. And doesn't Emmanuel Macron have like that beautiful supermodel wife? You know they're doing fucking... Stop it.
A claim also rooted in long-standing Russian propaganda. Jones wrongly claimed that the video was taken after the leaders had met with Zelensky, when in fact it was filmed before the talks even began. Doubling down, he later posted an edited version of the clip with a shine filter applied, insisting that viewers could clearly see it's a bag of blow.
No.
The Russian Foreign Ministry also joined in spreading the falsehoods.
Well, of course they're going to. I would too if I were the Ruskies. I'd take a free shot at Zelensky saying he's a cokehead. And I don't not believe that he's a cokehead. Tridio with $2 says, thanks for telling us. Glad you didn't sign the NDA. Oh, God. That there was no NDA. There was never going to be an NDA. They were begging me to sign an NDA. And I went to my lawyer with it. I went to my divorce lawyer immediately. And he's like, he goes, do you know how many like divorces I handle for like super rich people? And there's no NDA? He's like, no, there ain't going to be no fucking NDA. So that he audibly laughed on the phone when I told him the NDA thing. I mean, that's something that just comes from the brain of coked out losers, honestly. Veldrain with $1 says, speaking about cocaine, Hunter has a smile that is like an email from grandma, all caps. He's got kid's got nice teeth. What are you gonna do? Hey, by the way, we never found out whose bag of cocaine that was. Remember the bag of cocaine that was left in the White House? No, they never told us. I mean, we know whose it was, but they just kind of ho-hum, on to the next thing. Just never bring up the bag of cocaine that was sitting in the White House. Totally hunters. Totally hunters. Let's go to Bapa Shab. He says, Starmer was so gacked, maybe watch the unedited footage. They were literally mumbling, maybe we should have went into the bathroom. Look. I 1000% believe all three of those guys were doing coke. What I'm saying, Bapa, is that I don't think that what Macron grabbed was cocaine. Those three were definitely doing drugs and fucking each other. 1000. I agree with you. I'm saying that just the grab was not cocaine. That's all. I always get in trouble for that. I always get in trouble for not going far enough with a theory. Like, I can be like, hey, guys, I agree with you 96% of the way. And then the other, 3% of the way, The other 3% of the way, I get hammered for that part. I get hammered up for that part because I agree almost all the way, but not quite all the way. More believable they were fucking each other than snorting drugs. Yeah, all those European leaders, if they're not gay, then what's their excuse? Brian says their reaction is that of it being drugs. Maybe it's the reaction to doing drugs, but it's also the reaction I would have if you caught a boogery tissue sitting on my desk. Like if you got a bunch of cameras and I got a snotty tissue that I just blew my nose into, yeah, I'd be like, sorry. I mean, I would like to think that if these guys were like Illuminati leaders, that if there was a bag of cocaine on the table and they had to grab it, they'd just kill all the cameramen. But maybe they're not as powerful as we all thought they were. Go watch the video, tit boy. All right, here, Bappa, find me a link of the exact video you want me to watch. I'll check it out. All right, you find me the video of the exact clip that you want me to watch, and I'll take a look. Because right now, I'm just looking, and yeah, I'm not seeing the one you're talking about where he says that. Nope. I don't see it. Fuck. Well, here. Again. Send me what you got. I'll gladly take a look. And then we'll see. Do you remember that clip of that blonde chick taking that gay dude to town about how, like, butt fucking ruins your asshole and you can't shit right? Do you remember that chick? Let's play that woman's clip here before we play this second clip, because apparently, I don't know if you've watched this internet series, but they'll have this deal where one guy will debate like 20 people in a room. It's kind of cool. They did one. Oh no, I didn't retweet it. Shit. Gay guy, woman debate. Maybe I can get lucky here. Gay guy, woman. Here it is. Yes. All right. I got it. She straight up right to his face was like, you know that butt fucking makes you not be able to shit right, don't you? And it caught him like she had just revealed a gay government secret. And he was like, like in his response, you can see that guy totally doesn't shit right. Like his butthole's blown out from gay sex. Let's go ahead and play this clip. Now there's a second clip where this guy, he's apparently the gay guy is the source. He's like the main guy in the debate, and people keep taking that other chair and arguing with him. And we've got another clip of another dude. This really was not a good day for the gay guy. Let's take a look. This is the one we played last night just to catch you up.
I'm assuming from everything you're telling me that you think that God is okay with you practicing sodomy with other men.
I am saying that God always acts.
Practice, honey. I'm an expert. I should keep talking so nobody can clip that. I don't have any problem. Whatever people want to do sexually, just don't fucking tell me about it. But I hate it when people who butt fuck each other try to pretend that God's totally cool with it. Like, I hate it when they try to have their cock and eat it too. It's like, just admit you're doing something that's against the wishes of God and have that be like part of the thing.
Acts in accordance with love, and the sodomy that was written about in the Bible has nothing to do with loving queer and trans relationships.
Because like, they're not talking about my butt fucking. They're talking about everybody else's butt fucking. You see, in the Bible, when they talked about sodomy, they were talking about you, not sodomy. See, so it's totally different. God loves when I stick my dick in a butt or when I take one in the ass, but he hates it when everyone else does it. I'm special. Fuck, I gotta stop covering these stories.
Because there was no frame of reference for the phrases who created it. Man is imperfect. God's word is perfect. God would support queer and trans existence. Do you want to talk about why it's also anti-American?
You don't think that sodomy existed 2,000 years ago?
I do think it existed 2,000
And you
years
don't
ago.
think that God
and the way that it
directly
was
addressed
written
in the
about
Bible?
in the Bible was about hateful, unconsensual, pedophilic, ritualistic acts of sodomy.
Oh, see, it was about like prison fucks. That's what it was about. Oh, okay. That's great. You know what we don't have enough of in today's degenerate world? Enough people reading the Bible in a way that suits them. We don't have enough people doing that. This guy's refreshing.
There have been healthy queer and trans relationships all throughout the history, and they were not included in the Bible. The same.
Define healthy. Because not being able to shit right is usually considered a medical condition.
Same way women's rights were not included in the Bible. God did not intend us to treat that like a law that we never move on from. He entreated us to use it like a way to learn, love, and practice it better. It is not an instruction manual. It is one tool that we can use to live our.
Here's what I love about this. So this guy is setting this all up, and he's giving all these excuses as to why his sodomy's okay. And he's just talking and talking and talking, all to set this woman up to go, you know your butthole's wrecked, right? He's like, I'm going to defend myself on the God thing, and she just takes a right turn to like loose shitterville.
You do think, but to clarify, so you do think that God is okay with you having sex with other men?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that your definition of love is basically what feels good for you and also being nice to other people.
I think love is more complicated than that. For example, you can have a sexual relationship with someone that you might not love, whereas love is a deeper emotion of care.
But basically it's just like this like fluffy feeling of like, oh, like I like you, I'm treating you well, whatever.
That's limerence, my friend. We call that limerence, not love.
I think that love is willing the good of another person.
Love is a hard action.
So you can have.
Yeah, I'll say it is, isn't it there, Tiger? It certainly is a hard action. Harder than most.
Have consensual sex with someone, and that's not loving them, because participating in homosexual acts is inherently not loving because it's damaging.
They're not inherently damaging.
It violates
They're not
natural
inherently damaging.
law.
It doesn't violate natural law. There
Yes,
are over
it does.
1,000
Your body is
species that
not
are
designed
proven
for
to
that.
have queer relationships.
God literally designed.
Why does the
male
G-spot
and-
exist?
I don't know. God literally designed
Let's
male and female
not pretend
bodies
to know
different.
God's vision
Why-
then.
How about this?
Let's not pretend to know God's vision.
So this guy's very confident. He's like, why does the G-spot exist, huh? How you like that, bitch? And then what she levels him with here is bloody fantastic. Literally and figuratively.
12% of men who have sex with other men 1 or more times a week have problems where they are not able to control their bowel movements.
They shit themselves. They're so gay. They're so gay. They shit on themselves.
Because when
what
do you?
Well, why?
How come you ain't shitting right, bro? Well, you see it. Well, it's you see with the fist. It's just not. None of your business, bitch.
1 or more times a week have problems where they are not able to control their bowel movements.
Because when do you?
Well, why? If it's healthy, if it's perfectly healthy, and you know that's.
This guy has to take a shit so bad right now. This guy's like, oh no. My sphincter's not taut enough to hold this one in for the rest of the debate. Can I beat the clock?
So
True,
there are
and that
medical
doesn't mean,
facts
that doesn't mean
refute.
that I hate you. It means I don't want you doing something that's not natural and it's not healthy and it's not good for you.
Bro, if I could, I just want to weigh into this debate. I don't give a fuck what any of you do to your asshole. Just don't tell me about it.
But
Or for
nothing
society.
you're saying
There's
is
a reason
grounded
gay
in
men
Christ's
can't
word or
reproduce with each
medical
other.
reality.
There's a reason why.
It isn't medical reality, and it isn't Christ's word. John 4:27. Take care of your butthole, bro, because shitting all over yourself be gay. I believe that's a direct quote from the Bible.
Gay women can't reproduce with each other. Our
Reproduction
bodies
is
are
not an essential factor of love and care. It is not.
Kind of. It kind of is. So we played that clip last night just to catch you up. So apparently that guy was, I mean, not that he's not used to it, but he was just held down and decimated by everyone. He kept debating all these different people throughout the evening, and it was, and how great that, like, when she told him the shit stats, his face, like, everything drained from his face, and you're like, oh my God, he's one of the 12% who ain't shitting right. Like, because he's like, oh my God, I didn't know that people knew about that. And he was also like, holy shit, it's 12% of us, so I'm not alone. But he had to adjust on the fly and get back to the debate. Look, I get it. I get it. So this guy debated with another dude. And this guy, he was still invested in like the morality of what this guy was up to, but he wasn't so much fixated on the not shitting right part. Let's go to this clip.
Fundamentally disagree.
Yeah.
Really, because so first and foremost,
yeah.
To be quite honest, I believe, and that's not that I believe. I know that the LGBTQ movement is a Marxist movement. I believe
it's not a Marxist
I believe
movement.
it was installed.
It's not a Marxist.
I will say this. I think that the LGBTQ movement is inherently Marxist in this regard. It is meant to upset the established order. It is meant to sort of take down the existing order from within. It is inherently disruptive, the LGBTQ movement. It does look to attract people while they're young and get them, accepting and I guess to endorse said lifestyles. It does share a lot of similarities with Marxism, so I'm not going to disagree with that guy on that part.
Marxist movement. That's a funny thought.
I
but
let
it's
you
not a
finish
Marxist movement.
talking. Let me finish.
Okay, but you're just saying things.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
Yeah, we got time, bro. What, you got a shit or something? What's the deal?
things that I know. I believe you've developed and put yourself in this sort of matrix fictional reality, and you feel safe there. I'm glad you do. But here's the problem. Where we're headed is why I'm concerned.
Where are we headed?
I'm not. I'll tell you where we're headed. We're headed
To fucking 12% of us not pooping right, homeboy. Watch your mouth.
towards maps. Whether or not you agree with that is
Well,
regardless.
what evidence is there that we're headed towards maps?
I mean, are you
there's a show called Nobody Likes Onions. I'd like you to check it out.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Even on the conservative side, they're opening up the discussion on whether or not this can be considered a legitimate sexual orientation.
No one is saying that.
If you don't think that our tolerance of the LGBTQ movement has led to a more tolerated discussion of pedophilia, you're out of your fucking mind. It's clear as day. And this is coming from someone who, when I was a teenager, I was like, yeah, gay marriage, I don't give a shit. Like, all these Christian squares are gay, dude. Let them get married. Who gives a shit? And I've watched the slippery slope. I've watched what it's become. Cut your dick off. Who gives a shit? And it does. It eventually, hey, have drag queens come in and read books to your kids. Have teachers talk to kids about changing their gender and don't tell their parents about it. If you don't think that the LGBTQ agenda has softened the rhetoric around pedophilia and made it more acceptable to talk about and theorize about, and made it a more dangerous place for non-minor attracted person. First of all, let's stop with minor attracted person. Pedophile is the word. A pedophile is not an active thing. It's an attraction to children. A child molester is someone who acts. Let's get that straight right away. There's no such thing as a minor attracted person. It's a pedophile.
That pedophilia is a legitimate sexual orientation.
Okay. This is important, actually, that you're saying this right now.
There's been mainstream articles written about it, dude. Like, not even that recently, like 7 years ago.
Because where we're headed, I'm very secure that we're heading this direction. We're at a certain point in time.
That would be really concerning. Then I would understand.
And I agree that we agree with that. But going full circle, okay?
Yeah.
Who started the gay rights movement?
Black trans.
God damn it, I know this. The guy who started the LGBTQ movement was like a devout socialist. It's not Clayton Dugas. That was AIDS patient 0. Wouldn't you know he was a gay dude who fucked a bunch of guys in the ass? Was it Clayton Dugas, I think was his name. But who was the guy who started the LGBT? This is going to bug me when this guy says it. And he was like a radical commie.
Trans woman.
No, Harry Hay started the gay rights.
Harry Hay. That rhymes with gay. How did I mess that one up?
It's moved in the 1950s. What party did he belong to?
Communist Party.
He belonged to the Communist Party. Yep. What book and what society did he start at the time?
What would you say is the LGBTQ plus movement? Because I would define it as a civil rights movement in modern history. Whereas you're acting like...
Right, this guy's being a fucking prick where he's like, define the LGBT... When people play ignorant and they play dumb because someone's making a point they don't want to hear, that's so obnoxious and it's so weak and dishonest. Like his sphincter.
We're
existence
sticking
of
on this
LGBTQ
topic.
plus people.
We are still,
but you're not talking about
because
anything.
ultimately you're leading to deconstructionism. You want a gray box society.
Oh, easy on the box and the gray. And
That's the goal.
What is a gray box society?
The fact that you don't know that is
hey, leave him alone. He's gay. He doesn't know much about box. All right? You got to talk slow.
The problem. You are
No, I mean, what
compartmentalized
do you think a gray
in
box
this
society is?
I know what it is. It's a genderless society.
It's where we can't rent DVDs from outside of McDonald's. We used to have a red box society. Now we have a gray. I'm ruining it, aren't I?
It's where the individual is stripped from all individuality. That's what it is.
I think
that is
allowing
where we're
people to
headed. The
express
fact that you
themselves
can't
as
acknowledge
individuals
that
is more
shows me that
individuality.
you're already in the matrix. You're stuck there. You're in this world that provides all.
Honestly, I think this guy's a little too high strung, but I think he's like 55% right and then 45% hyperbole.
Protections for you. All these, the fact that you can even sit here, the fact that this
what extra
platform
protections do
exists.
LGBTQ plus people receive in the United States of America?
Do you want anecdotal experiences?
I want
or
any evidence that you
the
have.
The fact that it even,
you don't
the
have
fact
evidence.
that it's even a discussion.
You don't have evidence. It's not a discussion.
It's a sexual
you
orientation.
Saying something doesn't mean
it is
that it's
a
a discussion.
sexual orientation. It should be between
what
two
is a sexual
people.
orientation? What should be?
When
Dude,
it arrives.
Can I say something about gays? They interrupt a fuckload, especially when they're wrong, especially when they're kind of being taken to school on something. They really just get bitchy and they interrupt, or at least this guy does. But anyway, I just, it was another clip with that guy that I don't know who he is, and I don't know why he's looked at as like a guy who should be picked for a debate show. But if I'm in the LGBTQ community, I don't want that guy speaking for me ever again, because I don't think that went well. I don't think that went very well from him. In the Wild says he's definitely a Tate fan. It was the second time he said Matrix. That's just it. Like, that guy was just so not the dude to deliver that message because he was just too, like, some guys just get too into their talking points and they don't like, they didn't learn how to write a paragraph in school where you have like your main point first, your topic sentence, and then you have supporting information in the next 3 to 4 sentences. They have their big boom and that's it. Gray Duckling says, what the hell are the flags doing? You know, I've watched a few of these debates before, and I don't know what the red flags are supposed to be. I know they count them. Does that mean, like, this guy's doing well, or this is a good job, or does that mean I'm triggered? If any of you have watched more of those videos, let me know. Speaking of Gray Duckling, he is correcting me on my Bible. $5. John 4:27 describes how Jesus' disciples returned and were surprised to see him speaking with a woman. Fucking base disciples. I can tell you that. They were saying that their boy Jesus was getting a little too loose with the rules, so to speak. Thank you very much, Gray Duckling, with that $5. 80 away from another win for the Toe tonight. Thank you guys very much. Off to an incredible start. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We appreciate your generosity and your support of this program. Go ahead and throw in however you'd like. $80 away. We can do that a few bucks at a time. Thanks a million. Guys, Jimmy Kimmel is doing interviews again. I don't know if he's got something to promote or if he's writing a book or what. But we've now reached this point in anti-Trump hysteria where now apparently Trump derangement syndrome, remember that was an insult. Trump derangement syndrome. It meant you were so anti-Trump you couldn't tell your head from your ass. Like you would say really stupid shit because you hated Trump so much. You just had to be against him. Even if that led you to say something really, really stupid. You had to be against him. This is Jimmy Kimmel on MSNBC talking with Joe Scarborough. And Jimmy's going to let all you stupid Luddites in the Trump movement know that that Trump derangement syndrome is actually a really good thing.
I laugh when people say, oh, you've got Trump derangement syndrome. I think if you're a reasonable person, you should have Trump derangement syndrome. And by the way, I think he has derangement syndrome about us, too. The fact of the matter is, this is a dangerous person. This is a stupid person. And that's a bad combination.
So he's a dangerous person and a stupid person. All right, let's put that together, since Jimmy doesn't want to provide evidence. Donald Trump is currently in the Middle East right now trying to negotiate the release of hostages and nations signing the Abraham Accords, which is basically a peace treaty with Israel. And he's trying to get Saudi Arabia to sign it, Qatar to sign it. That's what all the plane stuff is about. Actually, Trump's people had a deal to get all the hostages released until Israel fucked it up by violating the ceasefire. They don't talk about that on the news, though. So Donald Trump right now is basically on a peace tour trying to get countries to say, hey, if Israel will stop bombing Gaza and they will stop wiping people out in Gaza, and if Israel will agree to come back to the peace table and we can find a two-state solution, like, why can't we just give the Palestinians Gaza and just call that Palestine? Cool, good. We're fine. End of discussion. We're done here. It's a patch of shit anyway. Give them Gaza. Make all these countries sign an accord, sign a treaty that says we recognize Israel. They have a right to exist. We will all live in peace. Gaza is now Palestine. Perfect. We're done. It can be a country the size of Luxembourg. Who gives a shit? Let's call it a day. But fucking Israel will not do that. But the fact that Trump is on that tour means he's been doing more for Middle East peace than Joe Biden did in 4 years. So this idea, oh, Trump's dangerous, Trump's evil and he's dangerous and he's this bad guy. Right now, this guy is traveling the Middle East, eating McDonald's, and trying to get people to stop hating each other and wiping each other out. I just, the math ain't mathin'. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't. And him saying like, Trump derangement syndrome, you know what? They're actually the ones with the derangement syndrome because, they're deranged about us. It's like, yeah, we don't, no offense, not to do the Don Draper bit, but we don't think about you guys. Like, we're focused on what Trump's doing, the stuff, do we like it? Do we not like it? When are we getting these fucking Epstein files? Shit like that. We don't care about what Jimmy Kimmel's doing until you say something really dumb. So this whole deal with like, Trump derangement syndrome is actually a good thing. It's not, because it causes you to believe shit that isn't there. It causes you guys to see phantoms. You guys see zebras. You hear hoofs and you think zebras. The rest of us think horse. That's what Trump derangement syndrome brings about. Was Trump considered dangerous when he went to North Korea? Who else had the balls to go there? Yeah, they think that's dangerous. They think he's somehow trying to blow up the world. Taste Ferry Alto says Jimmy Kimmel's basic defense is, no, you. Got me, Jim. Got me. Bappa Shab says it's not even about the land. Zionists just want to eliminate every last man, woman, and child there, and the land is a bonus. That's the uncomfortable thing we have to talk about when we discuss Zionism. What does it mean? Zionism does mean the removal of the people living there and the creation of a Jewish state. So we have to start asking ourselves whether or not modern Zionism might be insatiable. And it might be like some interpretations of modern Zionism might be genocidal. I mean, we got to have that conversation. I know it's really fucking tough because our whole lives, our country has supported Israel, but sometimes you do have to, it's like in the comedy sketch, you do have to go and say, are we the baddies? And I mean, what power do the people of Gaza have? Honestly, even with Hamas, they have no fucking power. None. I mean, give the Palestinians Gaza. If Israel wants to keep the West Bank, we can talk about that. But I mean, fuck it, give them the West Bank too. Give them the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Israel can't use the argument that, if you give them the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, we'll be surrounded by hostiles. You're already surrounded by hostiles. They already hate your guts. So what if you give them their own country? They'll hate your guts. They might even hate your guts a little less because you don't have your boot on their neck. But you can't fucking talk sense into the Israelis. That's what I hate about it. You can bribe the Qataris, you can bribe the Saudis, you can play dirty pool with all these Middle Eastern countries and get them to give you your way. And it's not enough, especially for Netanyahu. That guy, Netanyahu's a fucking war criminal. Legit. He has no interest in peace. In fact, his stated goal was to pull out of peace talks, the Oslo Accords, years ago. and just keep bombing Gaza and the West Bank. So, like, to act like Saudi Arabia, I mean, fucking Egypt promised to stop attacking Israel decades ago. We got them, in the game in terms of not attacking Israel. Like, these countries are able to be bought and satiated. Not Israel. Israel's got more bloodlust than any of those countries. They still want us to go in there and overthrow the Ayatollahs in Iran, Russians in Afghanistan. Sorry. Anytime a chance to do that song comes up, why should I worry? Why should I care? I may not have a dime, but I've got street savoir-faire. We have this situation where the people we're backing are the ones who make it the most impossible to make peace. And the fact that Trump is over there trying to make something happen, I'm telling you, Trump is the only president we've had in my lifetime who might finally get tired of Israel's bullshit and force him to a decision. Hulkamasha Baby says, Jews love bribes. They just love killing muzzies more. Deutsch Chad says, I saw that Israel was gearing up for a full military invasion of Gaza. Trump isn't there to Jew wrangle him. I'll tell you this, if I were president of the United States and Israel told me I'm preparing a full military invasion of Gaza, I will be on the other side of that invasion. I will not allow you to do that. I'll send a carrier. I'll send a fucking cruiser. I'll send shit into the Red Sea. We'll see what you fucking do. You want to attack our ships again like you did years ago? You want a USS Liberty this thing? Let's fucking go, buddy. Enough. I'm tired of that country, that tiny little pissant country in the Middle East, creating giant fucking headaches for the United States of America and getting our citizens killed. They got 3,000 of our countrymen killed on 9/11 because we co-signed their bullshit. Enough already. And it is not anti-Semitic. Israel has a right to exist. Nobody's fucking debating that. They've been kicking the shit out of all these countries since the 40s. They've been occupying the West Bank and Gaza Strip for 60 years and kicking these poor people in the dick whenever they feel like it. And somehow Israel goes, well, we're the victim here. Unbelievable. It's time for it's kind of like an intervention for a friend or family member who's an addict. We need to sit down as their only friend, and we need to have a talk. You guys are up. You're out of control. $4.99 from Red Fox Mad says, Aaron, what do you think of the airplane Trump got as a gift from a different country? The Democrats are losing their minds over it. Qatar does support Hamas, and that is kind of fucked up. But that plane, the theory goes, that plane is the start of talking about a Middle East peace process and getting Qatar on board with what Trump wants to do. Let's have the discussion then. Let's have the fucking discussion. Landers says, let the noticing flow, Aaron. Yes. Well, I'm really getting tired. I was listening to Dave Smith and Tucker Carlson while I was at the gym today. Real inspirational pump-up shit. And also while I was out tanning this afternoon. And I had such a straight day today, bro. I ate Five Guys, went to the gym, and tanned. I'm into chicks. So I'm listening to Dave Smith and Tucker Carlson, and they vocalize something that I've been feeling for a long time, which is it's incredibly frustrating to have valid criticisms of the shit Netanyahu does, only to be called anti-Semitic for bringing up the points. It's like, no, this is a discussion we need to have. We need to talk about this. And the minute we start talking about how this is a danger to United States sovereignty and the world's security, it's, well, you must hate Jews. It's like, motherfucker, these Jews wouldn't even be around if it wasn't for my country. You live, you breathe every day because of what we've given you. Here's my thing. The lack of fucking appreciation from Israel really pisses me off because it's just, they're the LGBTQ community. More. How about thank you? One time. Buffalo Jockey with $2 says, wait, did something happen on 9/11? Oh, you know what? I don't want to worry you. Jake Fire with $5 says, what are your thoughts on Yemen war and Burma war? It seems like media only focuses on larger disputes with American interest. The Burma thing, I haven't heard a lot about in years. But as far as the Yemen thing, the Yemeni, I believe the Yemeni leadership now is quite barbaric. And we support, it's another one of those Middle East regimes that we kind of support, but they're assholes to certain groups of people, one of them being the Houthis. But the Houthis are fucking assholes too, so I don't like the Houthis. You know what would be really great? If we didn't take sides in inter-country shit. Like, hey, Yemen's got a problem with this rebel group in their country. Fucking good luck. Hope it goes well. Well, what side do you want to take? Here's a novel idea. My side. None. And if those Houthis launch shit at our ships, then we'll put a Tomahawk missile up their ass. But until then, let us know how it turns out. 09 Canyon says, aren't pretty much all of our allies only friendly because we pay them? Not all of them. A lot of them are because we share a lot of principles. We share a lot. Like the UK and us, I mean, we're brothers across an ocean. Canada for the most part too. I mean, our differences are like on the left-right spectrum, not really the philosophical spectrum. We kind of believe in the same values. If anything, the United States believes in those values a lot more than Canada and the UK. Freedom. Say what you want about how we do things here, but we're still pretty fucking good on that freedom of speech. We really are. I mean, the people who are shitty about freedom of speech are us, the people. The people are shitty to the people on freedom of speech. Somebody sent a link. Bapa Shab sent me something on the cocaine deal. I'll check that out. Boy, this got serious today. We were being funny and silly and wacky for like the first hour, and now the second hour is just like, let's fucking go, boys. Bapa Shab says, we also arm terrorists. Funny how ISIS never attacked Israel. Well, it's very much the theory is that, what do you call them? The Mossad started Hamas as a cudgel against the PLO and Yasser Arafat. I mean, and the fact that we started ISIS as a cudgel against Al-Qaeda. It's Mideast policy in the West. We just, you know what it is? We understand those people so well. So well. Thank you guys very much for the contributions. By the way, it puts us at $75 away from tonight. Thank you very much. And plenty of time, too. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all of the contributions. 75 away. Go nuts. Finish it off. Call it another win for the toe and a nice and easy Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Shit. Gotten too much sun today. Nice and easy Tuesday morning and evening. I'm just reading. Hold on, guys. I'm just reading things to make sure I can give in the. Oh, yeah. You know what? Fair enough. Okay, let's get into this cocaine train conspiracy theory. This cocaine train conspiracy theory is really interesting because I came on today and I said, that looks like a tissue. That doesn't look like a Coke spoon. These guys they don't have cocaine just out in the open on this train going to Ukraine. And again, I think these guys all do blow. I think they all do cocaine. I think they all jack each other off. I think this New World Order shadow government shit is gay as gay gets. I think they all have blackmail on each other. This is horrible. I just don't think that this is part of it. I don't think that's a Coke spoon right there, and I don't think that's a baggie of Coke. I think that is a used tissue. Could be a used tissue because he had to blow his nose because of all the Coke he was doing. Might have blown a nice, Coke rock boogie in there, but I don't think that this was just a bag of cocaine that got left out on the table while all these cameras were there. But Bapa Shab sent me this clip. I told him I would watch it and I would see if it changed my opinion. I'm willing to have my mind changed. Let's see.
It's a long walk. I'll be back in Poland.
And through my bathroom, huh?
Yeah. It's literally. We came through Germany, and then we made it to France.
Bedroom, and
we got through the border.
Right.
Make a photo, and after that you will be allowed to have a drink.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
They're doing the photo op thing. Yeah, I think what the German guy said was, and we had to go through my bathroom, meaning to get to this room. I don't think we should have done that in the bathroom. I don't think that's what he said. And this guy was taking, and the Macron, they were taking photos, like it was like a photo op, and he didn't want the dirty boogie tissue on the table during the photo op. So I'm sorry. Like I said, I'll agree with you. These guys all do all kinds of degenerate shit together, but I just didn't think that was... Again, this seems like a story planted to make conspiracy people look more nuts, if that makes sense. Baba Shab says, bro, they all fell silent and hid the items. I know. I'm not saying you're wrong about what they did, but they were being silent because watch like a Trump thing or anything else, like when they shake hands and they meet, they just sit there staring for a little bit. It's for the photographers. It's for the news. You watch that, and that's done all the time. Could you be right? Absolutely. I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm just telling you what I think from watching the thing. Sam Show says he pockets the trash. I mean, look. Lander says, I always snag my Kleenex and hide it like it's cocaine. Close up, Aaron. It's a fucking baggie, you daft cunt. I agree with Roots. They literally drink the blood of children, and we're tripping out about some blow. That's my thing. To me, it's a given that these guys butt fuck each other, sacrifice babies, and do cocaine. So, like, I don't know. I just, again, maybe you're right. Maybe you have a point and I do not. Bapa Shab. Okay, we got another clip. Let's do another one. I'll keep looking. Oh, shit. Okay. All right, that looks a little more plasticky than papery, but this looks... Oh. And is that blood? That could be a bloody Coke tissue, or it could be a baggie. Okay, you know what? I'm a little more convinced now than I was a little bit ago. That doesn't look as tissue-y. Is that see this corner right here makes me think tissue. This part up here makes me think baggy. Roots, not trying to make you the expert. What's all this discoloration though? I don't think world leaders would have discolored blow. I mean, Rekieta may be a mess and everything, but his shit was always, very clean. Had that very nice, white, flowery look to it. It didn't have these weird discolorations. So I don't know. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Sam Show says it's a reflection from the table. Okay. Root says, is that the zip on the Ziploc? Okay, let's go back. I've still got it up. Is that the zip on the Ziploc? Oh, one of the slide. Yeah, the slide thing where you pinch it with your fingers, you slide it down. Oh, shit, Roots. And this coloration here is from the table. All right, I'm going with that. This looks mucusy, though. This membrane thing right here, that looks mucusy. God, that's a lot more cokey than I thought before. Okay. You've got me a little more than you had me before. How about that? When Root said, is that the zip on the Ziploc? I was like, oh, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. All right, I'm turning a little bit. Deutsch Chad says, never saw a Coke bag like that. Yeah, it would have to be like a really crumpled up Coke bag. It doesn't, if it is a Coke bag, it's not very neatly presented, if I may criticize. Root says, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a baggie of something. Yeah. And Mr. Beat says that's way too much Coke for just them. Well, remember, they're going to see Zelensky, and the rumor is that Zelensky is a goddamn Hoover vacuum when it comes to that blow. What do we have here? What do we have here? I've got an email coming in. Oh, it's an AI of Michaela making out with Jeffrey Dahmer. I did not need to see that. Oh, I thought we could use that for the show. I'd really rather not. Oh, boy. Root says, unless the French put their handkerchiefs in Ziplocs. Yeah, I don't think they do. Brian says, could have been Zelensky's. Maybe it's a little harder to get that Coke to a war zone. So they bring it to him, you know. Maybe they got the good stuff at the palace at Versailles, and they import it to Ukraine. Haven't we given that? Like, at what point is that guy just the freeloading drug buddy? You know, at what point is that guy just the God damn it? We got to fucking front this guy the Coke all the time. We got to bring it for him. Good. You know, Zelensky, we've given him so many hundreds of billions of dollars worth of weapons. He can't supply the Coke every once in a while. Being a little Jewy. The Ziploc bags are usually thicker. You don't want the Coke getting moist. Sam Show says, harder to get Coke to a war zone? The fuck? Okay, maybe. Look, you know me. I'm an innocent. Bigot on socialist media says it makes sense why no one cared about the bag of drugs found at the White House. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Arrest Emmanuel Macron? I don't think so. I don't think you're arresting Macron, even if that is a baggie of Coke. $75 away from tonight's goal. You guys have done a ridiculous job tonight. Thank you so much. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Tell you what. Everyone just keep throwing in those fives. We're on our way. I really appreciate how easy this evening show is. This evening show crowd is with the support. Speaking of Trump in the Middle East, and boy, this is becoming a newsy show. You guys are kind of steering the ship tonight. I like that. By the way, Timothy in second place with $65. Miss Tay with 61. Gray Duckling now has 60. I didn't update him. I'm so sorry. Because I think Gray Duckling threw another 5 in a little bit. No, he didn't. No, that was Red Dog. No, not Red Bird. God damn it, who was it? It wasn't Duckling. Anyway. Jake Fire with $5. Jake Fire is now at 50. So he's just a little bit behind Gray Duckling. Sorry, I got to keep my shit straight. So Donald Trump is in the Middle East trying to drum up support for peace. What an asshole. What a dangerous, crazy man Donald Trump is. He's going to country to country in the Middle East, trying to get them to promise peace, to promise to sign a deal that says we're going to figure out this Israel thing, no attacking our neighbors, the whole deal. Total piece of shit, total asshole. He really doesn't like being strong-armed into a war with Iran, which is what a lot of the neocons and Israel and a lot of other Republicans are trying to do. Trump doesn't like being told what to do. They want him to go to war with Iran. He does not want to go to war with Iran, to the point where he's now going to the Middle East and being like, let's all be friends, or let's at least not kill each other. That'd be cool. I also heard on when I was watching Tucker today that Mark Levin, I hate Mark Levin, that he said that calling someone a neocon is now anti-Semitic. Jesus Christ, anything to avoid criticism, huh? Well, Saudi Arabia did actually a really sweet thing for Donald Trump. They built him a McDonald's. No, this is real. They made him like a double wide McDonald's and put it on an 18-wheeler so that he could have his, as you know, Donald Trump loves McDonald's, so he could have his precious fast food while he was in Saudi Arabia. I mean, I don't care if your regime is evil or twisted or crooked or whatever. To me, if you do that for me, you're a good guy in my book. This is the, take a look. Yeah, they just built him. It's not a double wide, I guess, but they built him a little McDonald's. They put it on a truck. That's just sweet. That's just a nice thing. Skank Queen with 199 says, so we all want to know, how does cum taste? I got to say, the anti-steel toe people still coping about the fact that no proof was given because it never happened. They got a text from 7 months after I left that Nick tricked. He even said he tricked her into sending to him because they were dirty talking. Jesus Christ. How about the fact that I'm your dirty talk topic? Dude, you're gay. But they're still coping about that. They're having a hard time realizing that the Hackamania thing did not provide the big atomic bomb it was supposed to. And outside of their little universe, it's been viewed as, again, Luigi wins by doing nothing. And the fact that their boy's melting down to this day as well. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so, Skank Queen. Sorry. Try not to let it hurt your feelings too bad. $70 away from today. And thank you for the $2. I'm being very nice to you because you gave us $2, and that's great. In the Wild says it was pretty oversold, to be fair. I mean, pretty oversold. Jesus. It was just a bunch of people sniffing my asshole. I mean, it's a little weird. And then I guess on Hughesy's show, they said, yeah, it was like even people who were there were like, yeah, it was pretty fucking pathetic. Apparently, Nick stayed up till 3 a.m. showing anybody who would look the text messages. Like he was that upset and irate with old Aaron. Like, I've been gone a year and a half, bro. You got to move past this. But narcissistic injuries don't heal. Apparently, he was up till 3 a.m. at the bar showing people texts. And he had no idea that that made him look like shit. And then, oh my God, if someone has the picture, please send it. He started singing karaoke after. This is a great example of how the Hackamania people feel about Nick. They just see him as a cartoon character for them to laugh at. So he shows all the texts and they're like, and then they show me roasting them and they applaud. And then they go, all right, good night, everybody. And then Nick goes up to sing karaoke and the entire venue clears out. And they have a picture of nobody there while he's singing. It's enough to almost feel bad for the guy. Rust Belt gifting a membership. Thank you very much. That puts us at 65 for tonight. Thank you very much. So thank you, Skate Queen, for that 199s for allowing us to get enjoy our little victory a little more. I appreciate that. Let's continue on. Secretly, Skank Queen's a fan of mine. We organized that. It was she set me up. All right, let's continue on. We've got the South Africa thing. So that's becoming the new controversy. By the way, Luxray Luxer, you're the one who got the gifted membership from Rust Belt. Go ahead and pass that along. Thank you guys so much for your contributions. This South Africa thing is really driving the media nuts. So if you haven't heard, Donald Trump. Oh, you know what? Before we get to that, Sanford's son has a great question, and I don't want to have to circle back to this. I'd rather just tackle it right now. Thank you for the $20, Sanford's son. Wow. Give him a little Hulkster there.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
Sanford's son with $20 says, what's the background story with Vito's role in that promo? It seemed like strange bedfellows, but worth it for the laughs. Actually, Vito was really cool. He just wrote to me and he's like, hey man, I'm doing this thing. Would you do a roast appearance type of thing for the end of my video? Because it's going to be making fun of you. You know, we're going to make fun of you for being a guy who always says he's winning and shit like that. You know, kind of making fun of another win for the toe thing. And he goes, I think it would be a great misdirection if you came on right after. And I think it would be nuts. He goes, just be the heel that they all want you to be and, you know, give me something. And I said, no, I don't think so. And then he's like, dude, I will play it. I swear it'll be between us and I'll debut it live on stage. Just be a heel, you know, play into it. It'll go over great. And I'm glad he talked me into it. And I mean, I got to say, I delivered a pretty good performance. I was reading the comments on Alyssa Clip's posting of it. There were even people who are very lukewarm on the toe, and they were like, oh my God, I just unironically laughed at the toe. That was really good. So Vito just encouraged me to do it. And Vito and I kind of have the same attitude on all this gay shit. Like, we're like, why don't people just laugh more? Like, why don't people have more fun with this stuff? Why don't, it's the internet. It's silly. It's all nonsense. And we both just kind of had the same attitude about it. And after it was over, Vito sent me a DM and he goes, there was a huge fucking pop when you came on the screen. It was really, really funny. And I was just, I just told him thanks. Nice doing business with you. And it was really easy to put together. So thank you, Sanford Son. I appreciate that. And that's something for Stalin to clip now, too. Yeah, Dusty Rhodes says it was really good how you were pausing between some of your jokes to allow the audience to laugh. Now, I haven't been able to watch it yet, but they did say that there was laughter in between the jokes. Now, I was planning on these people hating me so much that they wouldn't even laugh at the jokes. But from what I heard from Vito and others, that it was perfect that I put the pauses in because there was laughter after everything. I was like, well, you know what? The people who laughed and the people who enjoyed it, I got to say, better sports than I gave them credit for. So, yeah, that's Sanford Son. That's how it all got put together. Buffalo Jockey, thank you for gifting a membership, and it went to Rust Belt. Thank you so much. Oh, my God. Now all of a sudden we're at $45 away. Brian says, Aaron, I wouldn't say you have the same attitude as Vito. Not a good look. No. I just meant on this specific particular thing. Just on that specific particular thing. Dusty, no, I know what people's concerns with Vito are. I understand, and I understand the criticism. I will say this. He's always been very nice and very professional to me. All that other shit, I'll leave that to the internet. He and I are not like best buddies. We're not going out golfing tomorrow. We just worked together on that, and I thought that was ballsy of him to want to put that together, and kind of smart, actually. But now here it goes. Now they're saying I'm thought of highly by those who want to children. I'm always very careful when I talk about how professional and cool Vito was about the whole thing, because I know I'm just going to get a bunch of shit. Yeah, Vito said, yeah, I was trying to sell it. Haha. I think Dick and Carl didn't know how to react. I know. I noticed that. They're like, wait, what? And then like people were laughing and Dick Masterson and Carl looked confused. They're like, wait, is this, what are they? They didn't understand that the crowd was like, no, this is funny. We can laugh at this. And those two were like, what? I don't understand. I don't, like, we literally shocked Dick and Carl into silence, essentially. Not that Carl not knowing how to react to very obviously funny things going around him it's nothing new. But yeah, no, that's how the Vito thing came about. Vito is Corey's twin. I don't think Corey and Vito look alike. Papa Shab says, Carl doesn't understand comedy? How dare he? Let's continue on here. $45 away. Before I really just piss somebody off really bad, let me not squander all the goodwill we've built up today with my Israel rants. Let's continue with the show. 45 away from knocking it out, and an hour left in the show. You guys are doing great. Thank you very much. The Trump administration has started bringing in white South Africans to the country. And now this is amazing, because all the last 20, 30 years or so, we've been hearing about how the United States of America needs to help the downtrodden. We need to help refugees. Refugees are a cornerstone to our democracy. Helping refugees is what America is all about. And by God, if we can help refugees, we should. This always works, and this is always their position when it's black, brown, and Muslim refugees. Then fantastic. Now it's legit victims. It's white farmers in South Africa. It's white engineers in South Africa. It's people who are having violence committed against them, people who are being killed. And we're bringing over white South Africans. Trump wants to make that a thing because he does feel that they're being persecuted in the country they live in. And liberals have been telling us all this time, hey, what are you going to do? Close the book on the Statue of Liberty to these poor people? It's amazing when the skin tone and economic status of the people and assimilation ability of the people we're bringing in and the likelihood that they vote Republican, once that changes, the media's position seems to change on these things. You can set your watch to this shit. Let's watch this MSNBC clip.
So the Trump administration, they're saying that essentially these white South Africans...
White. Listen to that. Do you ever hear these black Africans or these brown Middle Easterners or these brown Latinos that are coming into the... We never say that. But white South Africans, and they say it with such disgust. You know, like, what, can you believe it? White South Africans. Ugh.
These white South Africans assimilate better, and they're also not as much of a security risk. That's really...
And by the way, that's code for vote Republican.
Security risk. That's really causing a lot of people to be appalled, frankly.
Okay, be appalled. Prove them wrong. Be appalled. Because when it comes from, I don't see a lot of MS-13 or gang members coming from the white South Africans. I don't see any jihadists coming in. Can we say the same about Middle Eastern and Latino immigrants, that we don't get any gang members, any cartel members? We don't get any Islamists? We don't get any of that? No? Because so far we can't say anything about, white South Africans coming here and causing all kinds of problems.
And I also should tell people that this violence that they're talking about that are dealing with these Afrikaners, I've been hearing from people that say there is violence in South Africa, but it's affecting everybody of every single race, Kate.
Oh, so now we're basically denying the plight of Afrikaners in South Africa. By the way, the sitcom Afrikaners, not nearly as funny. Not nearly as funny. It's just the older you get and the more you pay attention, the more you just go, I'm a full-blown fucking conspiracy theorist. I might as well just go, I feel like I'm going to be right more often if I just assume that everything I'm hearing from these people is bullshit and that there's some deeper meaning behind it. That, I'm not doing that just because I'm skeptical. I'm doing that because when I've done that in the past, I end up being more right than if I just buy it hook, line, and sinker. I mean, they did the same thing with Cubans. They didn't want Cubans coming here, the mainstream establishment and the media. Cubans were bad. If we bring in Cubans, why don't we bring in more Venezuelans or whatever? It's like, you don't want Cubans here. Why? Because Cubans, they tend to start businesses and be Republicans. And they were showing some of the pictures. And I think we've got them on tomorrow morning's show. They were showing pictures of the South Africans that were coming here. Remember when they would show the pictures of people at the border and it was all just military-aged men? They show the South Africans that are coming here, and it's husbands and wives with young children, and it's like, and you can just feel it. You can feel that if you have the position that, wow, this is nice, the media is immediately going to go, oh, so now white heterosexual couples with children are preferred to come into this country? I'm like, you said it, not me. Like, I was, I'll take this over military-aged men with no families just coming across the border with no story. Yeah, I will take that over the alternative. So, it's amazing that all of a sudden now the left cares about immigration. It's all a fucking numbers game. It's all a fucking PR campaign. It's all a vote totals campaign. They don't give a shit about any of these people. Not that the Republicans do either. The Republicans want to bring over white South Africans because they'll vote Republican. They're doing the same thing. I just hate when both sides do. But at least the Republicans, when they criticize the Democrats for what they do on immigration, the Republicans will come out and say, you're trying to replace older white voters. You're trying to do this to pump up your election numbers. And you want to bring all of these poor brown people in here illegally, grant them citizenship somehow so then they can vote for you. Republicans will at least come out and say that. To watch the Democrats kind of hem and haw and go, well, we just don't know. Maybe the violence against them isn't really happening. And maybe just say you don't want more white people here. Just do it. Just say you don't want more white people here. We already know you think that way. So you saying it is not going to make us go, oh my God. Yeah, Bapa Shab says these people won't commit crimes and will be able to assimilate easily. Turn them away. Oh, my God. We only like it when they form gangs and take over apartment buildings. We like spicy immigration. These guys think pepper is spicy. Get them the fuck out of here. Let's go to Landers. He says, if you are not racist or, Jesus, or hate by now, you have swallowed too much cum. Stop. 09 Canyon says people on farms have to put up locked metal gates inside their house to keep safe while asleep from home invaders. There's some pretty nasty stories about farmers being brutally murdered in South Africa. There's documentaries about it. Vidam says they are running a play like pro wrestling is fake. We have been lied to our whole lives. Yeah. In one sense or another. 09 Canyon says, have you seen the white slums where other South Africans live? I have not. Links, please. Wild Saffron says, obviously Aaron is woefully uninformed about South Africa. Glad you know the truth of the situation. When did I disagree with him? Didn't I just say the same thing? Good Lord. Das Optic Nerve says, evening show hits different. I think Aaron's solo shows in general kind of hit different, you know? McBuster says, no, you dick-kissing Eric Church enthusiast. A foreigner is a foreigner. Oh, well, fuck me running. Didn't apartheid end in South Africa in 1994? Yeah, there's a lot of like young liberals who think that apartheid ended like a couple years ago. You talk about uninformed on something. Oh, yeah, okay, here's the picture from JT the Watcher. So Nick did all his stuff at Hackamania, right? And he danced like a clown, and they laughed at him as he leaned on his cuck fridge. And then he went up to sing karaoke, and I shit you not. Here, let's big screen it. There's nobody. It's like I said this morning with his disheveled look and everything. It's like you almost shouldn't even make fun of it anymore. It's almost too sad. Thank you, JT the Watcher, for putting that up for us. It's kind of like, it's like when they fuck with the retarded kid at school by making him think he's super cool and everything. And then they go, like he's not in on the gag. You always feel bad for that kid. Sam Show writes, whoa, buddy. Suffer, Nick. McBuster says, holy shit, what a total dorky cunt. It was, look, it's like I said, it's almost too brutal. And it's obvious. Like, do I need to point it out? I feel like if I point it out, it's like it's rubbing salt in the wound. It's almost it's a free low blow, so to speak. Oh wait, no blow for another 5 years. $45 away from knocking it out tonight. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Thank you guys very much. You guys remember a few weeks ago when Joe Rogan had Douglas Murray and Dave Smith on, and it was that disastrous episode where Douglas Murray made an absolute cunt out of himself? Well, I guess Joe decided that it was time to get back to like weed talk. So he had a guy, and I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who his guest is. But he doesn't exactly look like, an expert that Douglas Murray would approve of. They kind of went back to pot talk on this episode, but it was kind of interesting. Joe talked about, and I'm seeing this in a lot of guys now in their 40s and 50s. A lot of these guys are starting to move a little closer to the God thing. More so, I'm seeing a lot of these people who came up as atheists when they were like in their 20s and 30s as we were watching them. As they get into their 40s and 50s, they become God guys. You know, you see that Dave Smith was talking about this. He was an atheist. Then his daughter was born. He became a God guy. So all these guys start becoming God guys. Joe Rogan is kind of moving towards being a God guy now. I never thought I'd say this. I think the only one who's like really famous, who's still like balls deep in atheism is Maher. I think Bill Maher's the only one who was like, yeah, God's gay, you know? And he's still on the God's gay tip, you know? But Rogan, Dave Smith, all these other guys, you know, they're starting to lean in on God a little bit. This is a little pot talk discussion they had on the last episode.
This is the ultimate who the fuck knows, because we can only see so far. We see so far, but even so far is only so far.
Well, and then they're saying like it's always expanding, which that can't be true, because like what is it expanding into? If space.
See, this is where, in fairness to Joe now gets to talk to Douglas Murray, and he gets to talk to Donald Trump, and he gets to talk to a lot of newsy people. But Rogan's podcast became popular on the back of all this pot talk bullshit. Like, do you think chimps dancing on a typewriter into eternity could recreate the works of Shakespeare eventually? Like, shit like that got people listening to the Joe Rogan Experience. And now they're going back to that, and they're questioning the Big Bang. And I like listening to shit like this. Like, okay, let's question the Big Bang. By the way, the Big Bang Theory first postulated by a Catholic priest years and years and years ago. It wasn't a science thing at first. It was a religious concept. So they're saying, well, the Big Bang, it says that, you know, the universe is ever expanding, and that's a good question. Expanding into what? You know, I'm not saying that, you know, it was just God snapped his fingers and said, let there be light, but I can question the Big Bang because it's just a theory and the show was dog shit. But like, if it started with this explodes, like all matter was condensed into something smaller than your fist, and it was so dense and it contained everything we have in our universe now, and it just one day, it exploded. And it's still expanding as we speak. But even if it's still expanding, it has to be expanding into something. So there had to be a vast void of space, and there has to be a limit to that spatial void. It can't just be forever and ever, amen.
Space is space. You know, if they're like, oh, it's like blowing up a balloon where everything's okay, but you're blowing up a balloon in a room,
right?
So what?
So you can't say like, oh, it's ever expanding. I'm like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. Expanding into what? And they're like, well, you know, you blow up a balloon. I know, but when I blow up a balloon, I'm blowing it up into the place I'm in. That space already existed previously. The balloon isn't creating new space.
What's the room that you're blowing the balloon into? And then that's in a bigger room, and then that's in this.
And then there's the concept that it's actually finite. It's not infinite, and it's some sort of donut shape. It like goes back around eventually.
You know what this is? This is a bunch of monkeys not knowing where the fuck we are and where we came from, and that's okay. But I think that fucks with a lot of people. This idea that you and I don't know where we are, we don't know where we came from, we're not sure what's out there, and you kind of have to you have to let this peace wash over you that you're not going to know. You're going to die not knowing the answer to these questions. You know, that we're visiting here for a very short amount of time, and the answer to these questions will never ultimately be revealed to you. You will die wondering how all this shit works. Isn't that crazy?
Then who made all that?
Right.
Like, is there a God? Did God make this?
Or is God the universe?
Yeah, but then who made God? And then that bothers me.
Right, but
like,
does
who
it
made that?
Don't you get into that? Like your eyes just start rolling around in your head afterwards. You're like, oh, there's a God. He's in charge. All right, where'd he come from? And it's just like you keep asking questions and you get to the point where you go, all right, it's just not for me to know. Like, it's just not for me to know. It's not something I can comprehend. There's limits to my brain. There's limits to our intelligence. What I think whatever it is, we can't conceive of it, even if we were standing in front of it. You know, there's this theory, and I don't believe it, but there's a theory that the Native Americans didn't see the colonizers' ships on the ocean as they were approaching because their brains couldn't conceive of that. I mean, we're talking about people who didn't have the wheel. They hadn't domesticated animals yet. These were very primitive cultures, cavemen, basically, and they couldn't conceive of these ships carrying people on the ocean. I feel like that's how we would be if we met whatever the creator was or whatever the big electron or the nucleus of what makes all of this up. I feel like if we were standing in front of it, we couldn't conceive of it. Like, we would stand in front of it, we'd just maybe see like a pulsating orb. And we'd be like, well, that's all in my brain. That's all my brain can handle is that's a pulsating orb. We can't hear it. We can't, can barely see it. See, now I'm getting dizzy.
Is that a thing that we think that, like, because we were born and we die, that we have these biological limitations that we attach to the universe itself?
That's fair.
Right.
That we see things as being built and destroyed.
That there's always been something. Well, wouldn't it be crazy if there wasn't something at one point in time?
Yeah.
That seems even crazier. Then there always has been something.
But if there's always been something, where is its beginning? Where did it start? What's the concept? Are there more than one? Is string theory accurate where there's different universes? And I think the only way you're going to find peace on topics like this is to be a cow. It's just to go, I don't know. It's not for me to know. I'm never going to get the answer to this question. I'm wasting my time wondering.
If it's just something, if it's just the nature of everything, there is always something, right?
Right.
It couldn't be nothing and then all of a sudden everything. That seems...
Because what started that? What kicked that off?
Exactly.
What snapped its fingers?
That's
Thanos.
McKenna's great line. Terrence McKenna had a great line about the difference between science and religion is that science only asks you for one miracle. I want you to believe in one miracle, the Big Bang.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
It's because it really is true.
Yes.
And it's funny because people would be incredulous about the resurrection of Jesus Christ, but yet they're convinced that the entire universe was smaller than the head of a pin. And
that's a good point. Like, you bring up the resurrection of Jesus Christ, you're like, oh, that can't happen. And it's like, all right, all matter that exists today was in this tiny little microscopic dense ball and it blew up and that's where we came from. Yeah, sounds plausible. I'll go with that. It's like, okay, if I'll give you the Big Bang, you got to give everybody else the resurrection. You have to. Because if you believe one, the other one is plausible.
And for no reason that anybody's adequately explained to me, it makes sense.
Yeah, no.
Instantaneously became everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't buy that.
I'm sticking with Jesus on that one.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus makes more sense.
And who would have thought, again, like as Joe Rogan gets older, who would have thought you'd hear that from Joe Rogan? That Joe Rogan will stick with Jesus. I mean, we have stories, we've done silly little news stories where even today in the 21st century, we've had people who were pronounced dead. And days later, they woke up in a funeral home. Like, yeah, I mean, granted, it's third world countries and shit. Or like they bury them and the people come back to life a couple of days later. They're like, what the fuck? We used to bury people and we used to attach a bell to their fingers or a string to their finger that went up to a bell above the ground. And the reason we did that is because sometimes we would bury people and they were still alive. And then their hands would move and the bell would ring and we would know to dig them back up and bring them up. It's where the term dead ringer came from. You say, oh, they're a dead ringer for so-and-so. A dead ringer was someone who was buried. The bell rang. We're like, oh, shit, we got to get them up. So, like, could the resurrection be real? Yeah. Resurrection could be real. Resurrection could be as real as... The resurrection could be as real as simply this Jesus guy died, but he didn't really die. He was like, if you want to go totally realistic on it, if you want to go like Nolan Batman, where everything has to make sense and fit, they put this Jesus guy in a tomb, but back in the year 32 AD, they didn't have the kind of medical technology we have now. Maybe he wasn't fully dead. And they put him in that tomb and he walked the fuck out of there. Or it's a miracle. Vidam with $1 says, who wants to shoot the toe? $45. Come on, let's go. Everyone send in $1 at a time to pay off the 45. Look at fucking Vidam being the rah-rah guy. That's something. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I agree with Vidam. You want to throw in $45? I ain't going to hate you for it. Leah with $2. Thank you very much. Says, getting philosophical tonight. We really are. I mean, it's getting... I didn't think it was going to get this way tonight, but certainly it is. Certainly it is. MSO says, Aaron needs his career resurrected. Your lips to God's ears, my man. Does Jesus make more sense, or is it just easier? I mean, I'll tell you this: it does take a leap of faith, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, when you're asking people to believe the Big Bang, why is it now weird to believe the resurrection? Like, where do we draw that line? That's what I'm saying. Root says Aaron has a bell for when he wants his kids to bring him food. Hit like, hit follow, hit subscribe. Thank you guys very much. We're about $40 away from today's goal. So drop us a little stream. You guys have done it all with YouTube and Rumble. I appreciate that. If you want to do PayPal and Venmo, that's great. Otherwise, if you want to just keep doing it this way, fire away, and let's call it another win for the toe. Oh, did you guys hear the Sabu Kratom story? This I didn't know. Like, I didn't know Kratom could like contribute to somebody's death, because I don't know shit about Kratom. I just know it's one of those synthetic drugs that people take. And apparently Sabu was given Kratom before his last match. If you don't know Sabu, innovator of violence, professional wrestler, hardcore wrestler, died at 60 years old recently. And he was apparently given a substance called Kratom prior to his retirement match over WrestleMania 41 weekend. In an article from Phil Schneider of Yahoo's Uncrowned, there was concern about Sabu no-showing the event. I was fairly confident that he was fine, said one source. I was kept in contact with him, and he has a team of people around him, guys this time. They were all saying he was ready to go, that he was going to the gym, that he was on a training program. I believed them until the day of the show. Then 2 hours before, I get a call. Sabu can't walk. What do you mean Sabu can't walk? They said, yeah, Sabu, something with his knee. They're locked up. He can't walk, and his feet are bleeding. He's not coming. Sabu's not coming. I said, Sabu's fucked. So we talked to indie wrestler Matt Tremont, and Tremont is about to be the replacement for the match. And I feel like this is going to be the most embarrassing moment of my career. There's 2,000 people here. This is one of the biggest spring breaks ever, the biggest crowd Mania weekend indie-wise. And I'm going to have to go out there and announce that Sabu once again no-showed, and no-showed his own retirement match, which would be, admittedly, pretty fucked up. We are an hour into the show, and I said, just get Sabu here. They gave him something called Kratom. You can buy it at a smoke shop or something. It's like a legal opiate. They said he's hopping on the bed, he's hopping off the bed, and we're going to get him to the show. So he shows up 2 hours into the show. Sabu was on a different fucking planet. Everyone in the backstage was like, what the fuck is this? Is this match going to happen? And my God, it did. And this was Sabu after the match. 60 years old with the creepiest, longest nipples I've ever seen. That's fucking weird. 60-year-old Sabu after his match, just bleeding. I mean, these guys, they just hang in there way too long. And he died just a few days after this. You don't give a 60-year-old man Kratom and then send him out there in a fucking barbed wire wrestling match. Jesus. After the interview was published, Sabu's handler responded to criticism of Sabu being allowed to perform, saying, we didn't give him Kratom, his team did. Oh, well, then it's fine. It's also not illegal, and 85% of pro wrestlers do it, especially the ones on TV, so fuck you. Doesn't exactly sound like a very nice PR message to send out. Sabu was a grown man. He did what he had to do to get out there. I took care of him to the best of my ability. I didn't think what happened halfway through would happen. It was all to get him one great payday and one last shine in the spotlight. You know, these wrestling promoters are they're just such dirtbags. I mean, to phrase it as, you know, oh, we gave Sabu Kratom at 60 years old and sent him out there to wrestle because we wanted to get him one last payday. We wanted to take care of Sabu. Not, I've got 2,000 paying customers here who are all going to fucking ask for refunds, and I'm on my ass, and I got to get Sabu in the ring. I mean, I don't like the bullshitting. Just admit you wanted to get Sabu in the ring because he promised, and it's his retirement match, and you need to make bank on WrestleMania weekend. Don't sit there and go, we wanted to get him one last shine in the spotlight. That night wasn't about me. It was about Sabu, and I wouldn't change a thing. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. They've got clips of Sabu's last match, and like, you got to kind of grade on a curve because, again, the guy's fucking 60. Sabu last match. It doesn't look like he's particularly like fucked up. Maybe I'm not judging right, but these are clips. Like 60 years old and he's doing barbed wire rope matches. It's insane.
Sabu putting on the trying to. And keep your eye on Sabu. No. Off the
what
into the barbed wire he goes. Remove that jacket.
Yeah.
Throw into it.
Oh no!
Versus Stop. In the hand of Atticus.
What? Like, why? Why does he need to be doing that? Like, why can't nice and easy, nice and slow?
Fonzie through the grabbing hold of him. Handing across the ring from the center. Using that here.
Oh no!
Was that, holy shit, was that the Sandman?
Across the ring from the center.
Oh my god, oh my god, he looks so old. This makes me feel old. The Sandman in there with the kendo stick and the...
Using that here.
Oh no, Joey!
Oh.
Nope.
Oh no, into the barbed wires.
Hey, do you know how little these guys get paid to do that shit? You know, I've wrestled 4 matches. I've wrestled, was it 2 tag matches and 2 singles matches, or 3 tag matches and 1 singles? I can't remember. I think 2 tag and 2 single. I had single at Howard Lake, single at Kimball. And when I talked to all the veterans, you know, like D'Lo Brown was my first tag team partner. And D'Lo Brown told me, like, we were watching a couple of the matches, and they were doing like this they were jumping off of equipment and shit, and they were doing this like some really dangerous stuff, and they were fighting up in the stands and stuff. And D'Lo goes, these guys ain't getting paid enough to do that. Like, what D'Lo meant is, like, take care of your body, take care of yourself. Don't sacrifice your body and hurt yourself so you can't work tomorrow or work next week and make a couple $100. You know, don't bust your ass and break yourself for $150, $200 when you got to keep working and keep grinding. These guys who do this hardcore shit, it's so stupid because very few of them ever make any decent money, and they jump through barbed wire, and they have chairs thrown at their heads, and they get hit with light tubes and shit. It doesn't make any sense. You know, every veteran I've ever wrestled with has told me, they go, hey, nice and easy, all right? These people from this small town are just here for a good show. They want to be entertained. We don't have to go 100 miles per hour. You know, it's kind of like stand-up comedy. Jay Leno said, if you think you're going too slow, slow down. You know, milk it nice and easy. Tell a story in there. You don't got to go busting your fucking head open.
Himself from the barbed wire with a chair. Chair duel.
Oh, gee.
Oh, but Sabu.
No, showing respect
Like,
for one
look
another.
at that. We're just chucking chairs at a 60-year-old man. Holy shit, look at the gouge in his back. No wonder he's dead. Your heart can only take so much.
A DDT
in the ring.
On Janela repeatedly.
Like, look, he seems fine in there. Like, he doesn't seem like he's too fucked up to compete. I mean, he's taking bumps through barbed wire, and he's getting back up and fighting.
Sabu turns him over. Cover.
3.
And that's 3.
Oh, he can look at that. He can barely get up.
At this exact moment.
Can barely get his ass up. So they loaded him full of kratom and sent him out there to perform for one last match, and then he fucking dies. Jesus. Rusty Grammar with $1 says, go back and read Ryan the Garbage Man's comment. All right, I will. Thank you, Leah, for the $5. Appreciate that. We're a little under $40 away from tonight's goal. Thank you. What did Ryan the Garbage Man say? I'll go through a little bit, but then I got to go to everybody else's points. All right, guys, I'm not going to dig around. Oh, here we go. God is beyond space, matter, and time. He has always been and always ever will be. Goddamn right, bro. Goddamn right. They're saying I'm saying it wrong. Kratom. You know what? I'm really sorry I don't know drugs more. You know, I'm very, very sorry that I don't know my drug pronunciations better. I was the shittiest drug guy there ever was. Well, at least my dick still works, right? Chevrolet JB says, bet his kids are happy. Sabu have kids? He probably has kids. Kratom is mild. He was likely on Adderall, they're saying. MSO says 321 fake donos. Oh, yeah, let's fucking go. You guys got $40 worth of fake donos in you? Let me shake them out. We're looking for $40 worth of fake donos tonight. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats. Make sure it says fake donos when you send them, too. We're a little under $40 away. Thank you, guys. Kratom is what rich fucks drink to be better than coffee drinkers. It's just pretentious shit. Yeah, I don't think that Kratom killed him. I think, if anything, 60 years of just beating the shit out of your body. I mean, he wrestled matches like that every night for decades. And I think doing that shit's going to take a toll on your heart and your organs and your body and everything. I think we talked about it yesterday before we heard this Kratom news. Sabu making it to 60 years old is pretty wild. I mean, a guy doing what Sabu did for a living, living until 60, I don't think Sabu can say he got cheated on time. $40 away from tonight. Go ahead and drop in. We only want fake donos from here on out to knock out the rest so we can make MSO happy. If you guys want to do it with gifted memberships, do it that way. You want to get creative, get creative. Really, no Venmo, no PayPal tonight. And now I kind of want to do the whole thing without it. I'd kind of like to see us knock out the whole goal without, using just Rumble and YouTube. I think that would be kind of rad, actually. Das Optic Nerve with $1 says totally fake, not optic. By the way, Das Optic Nerve, if the Timberwolves end up meeting the Knicks in the NBA Finals, we should put something on that. I think we should put something just for fun. Just for fun. But yeah, I don't know enough about Kratom to know if it killed Sabu. I just know that Sabu did a bunch of other shit that would kill a grown man, Did you guys hear the latest Joe Biden rumor that they came out with? Jake Tapper from CNN wrote a book. I mean, I believe it. I also believe that Jake Tapper's telling crazy-ass stories to sell a book, but he says that if Joe Biden had defeated Donald Trump, if Joe Biden would have taken it all the way and won re-election, they would have had to wheel him out in a wheelchair. That Joe Biden... And people are supposed to believe that this guy was going to make it another 4 years. I don't think that the Democrats were wrong to kick Joe Biden to the curb and pick somebody else. I think they were wrong to let him run again in the first place. And I also think they should have gone through a primary system and not just picked Kamala Harris. But if they didn't pick Harris, they would have had to give a shitload of money back to donors. Joe Biden's physical decline got so real, aides reportedly considered rolling him out in a wheelchair if he defeated Trump in last year's presidential election. I mean, you see him now. You see him when he's on these interviews and stuff. He's just he's got that 1,000-yard stare going on. His wife has to basically tag in and finish his sentences for him. In the book, Original Sin, co-written by CNN's Jake Tapper, behind-the-scenes chats revealed just how far Biden's team was ready to go to hide the 82-year-old Joe's decline, which was evident in his stiff, slowed walk. Yeah, he had what you'd call shitty walk. He had the shitty walk going on, like he always had shit in his pants. However, but they're like, oh, we had to hide his decline. How is bringing him out in a wheelchair hiding his decline? If anything, that's acknowledging his decline. However, according to Tapper and co-author Alex Thompson of Axios, aides admitted that wheeling Biden around during the campaign was a political no-go, so that idea was shelved until after the election. But given his age, his doctor, Kevin O'Connor, warned that if Biden took another nasty fall, a wheelchair might be the only option for a tough recovery. Biden's cognitive abilities became a hot topic last summer, and in the end, it's what pushed him to drop out as the Democratic nominee under heavy pressure from his own party. You know what? It's remarkably dishonest for somebody like Jake Tapper to write this book. Because wasn't Jake Tapper one of those guys who was swearing to God? He was telling us that, you know, what cognitive decline? We don't understand. Why are the Republicans saying that, you know, Joe Biden has this cognitive decline and he's not doing well? He was one of those guys, was he not? And now he wants to write the book on what a circling the drain piece of shit Joe Biden was. God, all these people. It's just, I just want to stop hearing that the rest of us are mean or bad or crazy for getting it right. You know? I just want to stop hearing that, you know, oh, you said this about Joe Biden. It's like, oh, don't say it in that voice. We were right. You know, oh, you said this about COVID. Yeah, nailed it. You said this about Joe Biden. Oh, but you said it so mean. That's because you guys were so fucking cocky about it. You guys would talk so much shit that we had to go, he's a fucking vegetable. And then you guys go, wow, do you have to be so mean about it? You have to call him a vegetable like that? It's like, you guys are acting like you could get up right now and water ski. And the fact that now all these media people are coming out and telling their stories, these are the same people who looked right into the camera and told us, he's fine. You guys are crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. And now they're literally writing books and profiting off the fact that they were like, oh, yeah, I knew he was going to be in a wheelchair. And then they have the nerve to bring out these polls and go, why don't the American people trust us? Because you're sacks of shit. Because you're fucking liars and you admit it. Every single last one of you. Oh, by the way, thank you guys for hitting like and share every time, all the time tonight, because we clocked out at 340 was our top number. That's respectable. Nice work. 347 to be exact. I appreciate it. Not a bad little number for this little evening show that we do. Throw in another $40 and we'll call this thing a win for the toe in the next 20 minutes. Thank you guys for getting us down there so low tonight. Very, very cool. So yes, Biden was on The View last week. He said he was expected to beat Trump at the polls, but was not surprised Harris lost to Trump, citing sexism. Oh, okay. We all hate women. That's what it is. You know that Trump was fucking killing Biden when he left. He was up by like 6 or 7 points. He would have beaten Biden by way more than he beat Harris. That thing was done. Right now, away from all the political chaos, Biden's being checked out for a small prostate nodule. Is that no, that's just Jill's hand. It's just up there making him talk. Why can't they just you're going to fuck around and make me feel bad for Joe Biden? Can't they just let him stay home and enjoy what's left of his life? Like, do we have to trot him out and talk to people? Especially when his wife's going to be the one talking anyway, and all he can do is talk in talking points. It reminds me of when Jake LaMotta's wife kept trotting him out on stage to do comedy shows and musical shows at like 90, and he was like a fucking brain-damaged fighter. It's really well, I mean, you've seen the Frankie, we've watched the Frankie Valli performances, right? They still throw Frankie Valli's ass out there to sing, and he's not. I mean, to say he's not singing is an understatement. They're not even trying to hide the fact that he's not singing. Where's Frankie Valli? Let's oh, here he is. Oh, look at this. A couple days ago, he was out to dinner.
Sir, what's your stance on Palestine?
Why the fuck are we asking Frankie Valli what he thinks about Palestine? Oh, we'll reload here. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Why are we asking Frankie Valli what he thinks about Israel?
Quick question from my TikTok.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm with the Palestine News Network, sir. What's your stance on Palestine? You can't comment on a current Holocaust going on to the Palestinians.
What is Frankie Valli going to say that's going to make it better? Like, the Jews are going to hear Frankie Valli say, oh, it's bad. And they're going to be like, guys, pack it up. We're leaving the West Bank and Gaza Strip. We're adopting a 2-state solution. The guy who sang Big Girls Don't Cry said that there were meanie heads. I'm also going to guess that Frankie Valli's probably a Jew.
I think it's horrific that it's going on.
Okay. Can we get a free Palestine from you, sir?
What's that?
Freedom for Palestine?
Sure, why not?
Could you utter the words?
Punch this guy. Fucking hit this guy in the face. And it's not because he's saying free Palestine. It's because he's got a 91-year-old man and he's taking advantage of it and trying to get him to say some shit.
Free Palestine, we need the words.
Why doesn't this lady stop this? Like, I know she's probably his wife. At one point was the trophy wife, but she should also be the handler and she should be hustling this guy out of there. Or why doesn't the restaurant get this guy the fuck out of here?
He can't. Why can't he?
Let him fucking eat. He's 91. Do you have any idea how important these meals are at this age?
I mean, are you American? No. Where are you from?
Europe.
From Europe? So is that why you don't want to comment on it?
We just don't talk about that stuff.
We're eating, you cunt. That's what I'd say. She's actually being way too nice. I could stand for her being a way bigger asshole. We're eating. Food time.
I mean, it's important for everybody to have a stance. We need everybody's stance. A lot of people are...
If this guy got, like, run over by a bus, I'd be so happy.
Hey, we can't be quiet during a genocide. Say the words, free Palestine. Thank you, sir.
Free Palestine.
Thank you, sir. We love you, bro. We love you. I want to give you a hug right now, sir. I know, but I want to, sir. And I would kiss you on top of your head. You're a beautiful man. God bless you, sir.
Call him the gay F word. Frankie, call him the gay F word. Call him the gay F word, Frankie. You know you want to.
We'll work on her. Obviously, she's around good company, so we'll leave her at that. Yeah.
Why was nobody... I'd be fucking pissed at that restaurant. Why is nobody out there to stop this cunt? Ugh. Just goes up to a 91-year-old man. Can you say something? Can you say what? But this is Frankie Valli still on stage, and this is how I feel whenever Jill Biden trots Joe out there.
Time is the place, is the motion. This is the way we are feeling. This is a life of illusion. Wrapped up in trouble, confusion. What are we doing here?
He looks like one of those Chuck E. Cheese animatronic bear singers. You know? He just doesn't look like a real person.
We take the pressure and we throw away. Conventionality belongs to yesterday.
I've got terrible news for the people at that show. I don't believe Frankie Valli is singing. I don't believe that that's Frankie's live voice, if I may. Leo with $1 says, saw your vid from Hackmania. I think that was the only interesting thing the morons who paid to be there got to watch. I mean, I did really well. I mean, I did very, very well. The clip was great. Can you believe I did it in one take? That was one take I did that video. I recorded it down here. Kudos to Vito for having the balls to put that up there. They don't want to talk about that one, do they? And I don't think they wanted it to go that well. And thank you to everyone who was honest and admitted that it was another win for the toe. All right, guys, $40 away from crushing it tonight. Let's go. We got 15 minutes left. We got all the way down there. We're probably between 35 and 40 at the moment. My old lady said, turn the gay F-word music off and stop trying to suck dick. Papa Shop says he's definitely shitting everywhere. I mean, look, he's probably already suffered enough indignities. So who's doing better at this point, Biden or Frankie Valli? I mean, they both have the same look. See, I believe that once people get that look, that 1,000-yard stare, let them stay home. You know, if you guys want to go for walks, if you want to keep the guy stimulated somehow, some other way, great, awesome. But don't put him on stages. Don't put him out there like a zoo animal for people to gawk at, for Christ's sake. We got the Pete Rose story. We can do that, but I want to do the guy who fights kangaroos. This is kind of one of those nature's justice moments. A man with a history of roughhousing kangaroos was found dead inside of a kangaroo enclosure at his brother's zoo. I love this. I love that a guy who just basically picks on kangaroos constantly got fucking gutted by one. And they're good at that, by the way. They take those hind legs and they jump up and they take their claws and they rip. They just rip your guts open. It's pretty great. I root for the kangaroos in that situation. By the way, Mr. Beat says, I wish I was a rich steel toe fan. Or I wish a rich steel toe fan could make me a steel toe member. My broke ass is disabled. Well, let's gift some memberships then, shall we? We need to make about 30, 40 bucks anyway. So let's shoot a couple of memberships and hope one of them lands on Mr. Beat. What do you say? All right. Das Optic Nerve says Aaron has the 1,000-yard hair. Thank you. So this is the guy who was found dead at a kangaroo enclosure in a petting zoo in South Carolina. He's 52 years old. His name's Eric Slate. And apparently he loved posting videos of himself fucking with kangaroos. And, I know when we tell you that this guy was found dead in a kangaroo enclosure, you'll be like, oh, that's very sad. Once we show you videos of the shit this cunt liked to do, got what he had coming.
Did this kangaroo just kill a man?
Calm down, calm down.
That's the mystery after the 52-year-old man was found dead in the kangaroo enclosure at a petting zoo in South Carolina.
With your back feet that you gotta watch.
Eric Slate can be seen in this exclusive video, roughhousing with a kangaroo. The video was recorded just 10 days ago. On Friday, Slate was apparently beaten to death by the kangaroo named Jack.
Literally, it was Kangaroo Jack beat him to death. It's just like, let go of his arms. Let go of his hands. Stop fucking around with the kangaroo. You're not a trainer. You're just a guy in there dicking around with a kangaroo, and you got what you had coming.
When he entered the enclosure, authorities say Slate suffered multiple blunt injuries. An autopsy is pending. Slate's brother runs the petting zoo, and Eric has a history of going at it with the kangaroos.
I'm not wrestling you. Wait, that means no.
No, you are wrestling with him. The kangaroo is not, a 15-year-old. He doesn't know.
We learned that lesson yesterday. You won.
Kangaroos are incredibly powerful, not with their front feet, but with their hind legs. If it gets threatened, it is something that can be very, very dangerous to any human being.
I spoke to the dead man's brother, Robert Slade.
I thought the dead man's brother was Kane. Sorry, that was a joke just for me.
Do you think the kangaroo killed your brother?
No, I do not.
He says his
Oh, well, guys, then it's solved. I mean, the guy had a shitload of blunt force injuries, and he was found dead inside the kangaroo enclosure. But don't worry, the genius who runs the kangaroo petting zoo doesn't think it...
brother had recently been complaining of chest pain. What do you think happened?
We're waiting on the autopsy to come back. At some point, the kangaroo did scratch him. I'm not denying that, but I don't feel that the kangaroo is the main cause of it.
Calm down, calm down.
I mean, if you're not a professional and you're going into a kangaroo enclosure and you're dicking around with the guy, you kind of get what you deserve. It's hard for me to feel bad for a guy like this. And then the guy who runs the petting zoo is like, nah, I mean, the kangaroo scratched him a little bit, but, well, then, yeah, that's what fucking killed him, dipshit. Wally World gifting a membership, and guess who got it? Mr. Beat. Mr. Beat got it, and now we're 35, probably about 33 bucks away from knocking out tonight's goal, and we've got 10 minutes to do it. If you're feeling generous, throw in a little bit, and let's see if we can get this last 35 knocked out for the toe. Thank you guys so much. Very close to running it down all the way to zero today. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Go ahead and finish her up. And Mr. Beat, there you go. Wally World got you your membership. Baba Shab says shit could kick you in the chest without even trying. Yeah, I mean, do we have a video of like how kangaroos kick you? Because it's essentially they jump up with those hind legs that you saw. They have like 3-inch claws on their feet, and they dig those into your stomach and rip your entrails out. Yeah, they go right for the guts. The kangaroos. They're brutal, brutal bastards. And, like, reasonably, like, don't go into their fucking pen then. How's that? Just don't go where the kangaroos live, and they won't gut you. There was that one guy who his dog was being attacked by the kangaroo, like he was fucking around with a guy's dog, so the guy went in and punched a kangaroo in the face. That is about the ballsiest move I've ever seen. And you kind of have that moment after the guy punches the kangaroo in the face. They both kind of stand there like, oh, fuck, what are we going to do now? Like, it's just this moment where they go, oh, shit. Like, the kangaroo's like, can I kill this guy? And the other guy's like, is the kangaroo going to kill me? Guy punches kangaroo to save dog. You've seen this clip before. Here we go. Oh, this one doesn't have... Oh, yeah, that's right. There's no sound to it. So the kangaroo's got the dog. And he's just hanging on to him. And he sees the guy running, and then he ditches the dog. He's like, let's fucking go, bitch. Like, the kangaroo's ready. He squares up. So here we go. So they square up, and the guy instantly goes into fighting stance. I think this is so badass. Like, he instantly goes into, like there's a hand setting. Like, there's a guard you use for kangaroos. I love how he goes into, like, he goes more into the hands down by the stomach, kind of the barroom brawl. Kind of, I don't know what kind of, you ask me, Aaron, what kind of guard do you use against a kangaroo? I don't know. Since they're going to try and kick you in the body, maybe a Philly shell, you drape the left arm across your body. You know, get the right hand up here. You can maybe swat away one of the, I don't know. But he goes in and just right hand. Boom! And then they both kind of stand there like, oh shit, this is like the ultimate crossroads in both of our lives. And the kangaroo goes, oh, I guess, fuck it. I'll bounce. Like, he heads out of there. He's like, all right, man, you know what? That was a good shot. You got me. But that could have ended a lot different for that dude. That could have ended a lot different. Let's go to Landers says kangaroo versus gorilla. Fucking gorilla, dude. I gotta go with gorilla on that one. I don't think a kangaroo really has one move. You know, a kangaroo's got hind legs, gut ya. If you know, that's kind of their haymaker. If they miss that one, yeah, they leave themselves open to a gorilla counter, which is just grabbing them and smashing them and pulling them apart. All right, guys, are we going to knock out that last 35 before we leave tonight? $35 away from tonight's goal. Can we get it? We got about 5 minutes left. We got the Pete Rose story. He's now Hall of Fame eligible. I fucking hate this so much. I really hate that Pete Rose is now dead, and then they choose to make him Hall of Fame eligible and unban him from baseball. It's just such a shitty move. There's no reason you couldn't have done this before he died. It's not like you didn't know he was getting up into his 70s and becoming an old man. It's just so goddamn... Who was it? It wasn't Tennessee Mountain Landis. Who was the... Was it Rozelle? No, Rozelle was the NFL. Kennesaw Mountain Landis. It wasn't him, though, either. Who was the... It wasn't Selig, either. Who was the commissioner that banned Pete Rose? A. Bartlett Giamatti. So, he got banned in 1989. So, they had, 30-plus years to unban Pete Rose, and they wouldn't do it. And it's not like anything changed between 10 years ago and today. They could have done this. They could have got Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame knowing that he was, older, and they didn't do it. And now they're going to put him in the Hall. I don't know, man. I know his family will probably accept for him because it was a dream of his to be in the Hall, but there's part of me that wants his family to go, fuck you. No, we're not coming. You can go ahead, put him in the Hall of Fame, do all that. That's your prerogative. Great. But you treated him like such dog shit, and why? Because he bet on baseball? Big fucking deal. Then, you know what? Suspend him from the game. Don't let him coach. Don't let him play. But don't take him, take him out of the Hall of Fame. I really hated that they did that to Pete Rose. And now I'm almost mad that they ended the suspension. Like, fuck it. Keep it now. There's no point to undoing the suspension now. The guy's not alive to have it done or to take advantage of it. Roots Calhoun says he bet on himself. That's the other thing. Like, Pete Rose never shaved points. Pete Rose never bet against the Reds. I think the only thing they could prove is that he bet on himself to win. And again, Michael Jordan was a degenerate gambler. And all the NBA did, I believe the conspiracy theory, by the way, that Michael Jordan had to go away for a year and a half to play baseball. It was actually a gambling suspension because he was violating NBA gambling rules. But it would have cost Nike and the NBA and everyone else so much fucking money to tear down Michael Jordan for being a degenerate gambling addict that they just said, hey, go away for a little bit, play baseball. We got a cover story for you, and we can keep, Air Jordan alive. But like Jordan, he just has to go play baseball for a little while. Pete Rose, he has to sit there in purgatory and literally until the day he dies. And now they want to put him in. Fuck. $35 away. Guys, I think we're going to miss tonight. Oh, man. I did not see this coming because we were on such a roll. Like, starting at the beginning of the show, we were just fucking hammering it out. We were just fucking crushing it. And we just died at the end there. We ended about 30 or $35 away. Well, while I say goodbye, if you want to throw a few bucks in, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, maybe we can make it up tomorrow night. I had a little extra time tonight, too. I had a little extra time this evening. Shit. What do you do? We lost by about 30 or $35. Shit happens. We've been doing so great lately, guys. Thank you so much for everything you do for this program. Our morning show goals have been much, much lower lately, so maybe we'll make that extra $35 somewhere else. If you're feeling generous tonight before you go to bed, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, maybe we'll knock it out and call it a win posthumously. But thank you very much for all the gifted memberships, all the Super Chats, all the Rumble Rants. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. We appreciate all of that stuff. We will see you guys again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for the evening show. I will be all by my lonesome. We got 2 or 3 goals left for the week. I still think we're going to get that perfect week. Thank you very much. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your night.